ultimate shiksa. Come on.
Or because I have corned beef on white bread with mayonnaise. Ew. Thanks. All right, since you missed it, this was the line, though, of the night that was tweeted the most.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Thank you, good night, and may the force be with you.
What do you think what's the greater number? The number of mortgages that Hillary has or the number of Star Wars movies that she's actually seen? I think maybe she saw the first Star Wars movie. Maybe.
Well, her staff said that was not planned. That was completely off the cuff. She just said it.
And she read that line like one of the actors in Star Wars.
She's a wonderful extemporaneous
listen
speaker.
To her. May the force be with you. She sounded like R2-D2 giving the line.
And then also, everybody should love her, by the way. It reminds me of a Madonna song.
Should corporate America love Hillary Clinton?
Everybody should.
They ain't going to like me, and Wall Street is going to like me even less.
Bernie Sanders is an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an economic idiot. Do you know that he wants us to be in like Sweden or whatever? And
socialist.
And then, you said you started this segment.
My grandpa left. But
there you go. You started this segment by saying they promise not to tax the middle class. It's the old liberal democratic shell game. Because the only way middle-class people can get benefits is if you tax the middle class for their own benefits, because there aren't enough rich people to go around. I mean, we know that, but the Democrats always believe that there's somebody to milk,
right?
And it's
my sister asked me yesterday, why is Bernie Sanders so popular? And I said because he's offering free stuff. He's offering free college. That's how he gets all the college kiddies to rally for him in the thousands.
Right.
That's why they love him. But there's no plan. I mean, we'd have to pay for somebody else's free college.
And the beneficiaries, the intended beneficiaries of liberal programs always wind up paying the most for it and through the nose.
Yes. Well, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Hillary and Donald are in a fierce fight. We'll explain.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And today's weather, mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon, a high of 50. Tonight, low clouds, low of 35. On Christmas Day, the day that we all go for Chinese food and see a movie, maybe Star Wars. Partial sunshine, high of 44, low of 36. And now for a check of traffic, here's Dom Fortina.
Inbound Eden's looking good in both directions. You're in decent shape on the Edens. 19 minutes in between the junction and Lake Cook. No problems on the inbound Kennedy. 20 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 10 from the junction. Outbound Ike, watch for an overturned vehicle taking out the left lane just after 17th. 18 minutes already from the post office to Manheim. 31 to Thorndale. Everything else still pretty quiet. Good news across the board if you're out and about. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
I just took Balance of Nature for the first time. You guys are awesome. God bless you.
I have CIDP. It's helped me with my balance. It's helped clear up my skin condition.
I honestly did notice a difference. That's why I reordered it.
I feel good. I really just feel good. Everything has changed. I just feel so much better.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this product works. It's helped me as far as my overall health. I even recommended it to my mother, and she's been taking it, and she's 89 years old.
Get started early on your New Year's resolution with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
You did it. That's right. Because of your generosity and support of our annual Feed the Children campaign, we were able to reach our goal of feeding over 18,000 children around Chicagoland this holiday season. Those are real families with real needs that you have helped to meet. And we especially want to thank the many, many business benefactors who stepped up in a big way. When you hear their advertisements on the station in the coming months, well, we encourage you to support them as a way of saying thanks for their generosity. And just because we met our goal in 2015, that does not mean that the need has gone away. Hunger is still a real challenge for thousands of families and children in our area. So please continue to support Feed the Children with a tax-deductible gift of any amount at any time. Just go to feedthechildren.org. And thanks again from all of us here at AM 560, The Answer.
A research institute is seeking a geophysicist with internal title principal engineer to expand the industry's knowledge of the growth and propagation of hydraulic fractures and flow behavior in fractured shale, advance understanding and optimization of gas extraction from shale, and analyze passive seismic data and seismic modeling software, as well as the Petrol platform. Candidates must possess a master's degree in petroleum engineering plus 2 years experience in analysis of passive seismic data and seismic modeling software and the Petrol platform. A PhD degree in petroleum engineering with no experience is acceptable in lieu of the experience requirement, and permanent U.S. work authorization. Please send cover letter and resume to Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018. Once again, cover letter and resume to Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good Monday morning. You know, you can always give us a call on the Turnkey.Pro answer line at 312-642-5600 or send us a text on the Turnkey.Pro text line at 64636. Type in DA and then your comment. Or guess what, Bruce? There's a new way to reach us. You ready?
Really?
You could call or email us directly from the AM 560 mobile app on your smartphone. Have you downloaded the AM 560 The Answer mobile app?
I am so embarrassed about how many few apps I have. The iPhone is like totally wasted on me.
Well, you need to get on this app.
I will.
Maybe we can do a live app intervention.
Sure.
So
Teach me how to do this
How many
app.
apps do you have?
You know, you remember the quintessential story about me and the interwebs and all that?
Oh, this internet thing that you thought would go away that
sure.
stuck around?
I think it was about 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. I was in a panic and I asked my kids, please get me online because I need to access Microsoft Word. So that's kind of where I'm coming from on this. But actually, I'm pretty good because I'm a tweeting machine.
Well, you're a tweetaholic.
That's all. Really.
How many tweets did you tweet out during the debate that you didn't watch?
I mean, I was tweeting, and I tweeted on a multiplicity of subjects. It's not just the debate.
I'm sure you did, Bruce Wolf. Well, thank you for stopping by.
You're welcome. I would say I probably tweeted 100 times over the weekend.
100?
Yeah.
Aren't your fingers sore?
I get carpal tunnel. And when people follow me on Twitter,
yeah,
I usually tell them to unfollow me because they'll get carpal tunnel syndrome scrolling through my tweets. Plus, they all think that I'm a sportscaster and that I'm a liberal and whom they like. And then they find out I'm a conservative and then they hate me.
Have you
even
always
more
been a
so.
conservative?
Since
because it was hard to admit it in a democratically based newsroom.
Oh my God!
Because of our union, and our union fees went to help Democratic candidates.
Well,
you could never say your affiliation.
Well, you know, when I was like in the Channel 5 newsroom, they would make fun of Sarah Palin as if nobody else could possibly believe in anything that she, because you'd have to be insane to do that because they're all liberal hypocrites. They're all terrible.
Well, they're not terrible people.
They're not
just have
terrible.
Skewed views.
They're horrible.
I lost a few friends because I started working here.
Who did you lose? Name names.
I'm not naming names, but two people that refused to.
Do I know them?
Talk to me. I didn't even get a Christmas card from them.
Do I know them?
Oh, of course you know them. Don't start that game. Is it a male or female? Is she tall? Is she short?
Does she dye her hair blonde?
Well, she said to me, she said, you really can't believe everything your station says. And I said, no, I don't. I don't speak for Joe Walsh. I don't speak for Hugh Hewitt. They have their own opinions and own ideas.
But that's my problem with I'm always attacking the Chicago media. I mean, first of all, the biggest mistake, and I mean, this has been a tough year for me personally because I've been out of work and I've only worked with you like 5 days, and that's.
But it's been the best 5 days of your life.
It was worth it. It was worth it. I shot a 79 this year in golf because I practiced, and I've worked with you, so it's good. And I've
Wolf Jacobson. We sound like a law firm.
It's Jacobson Wolf.
It's Jacobson
so
Wolf.
Here's the thing.
We've never lost a case, but we never tried one.
But what I love is that Channel and NBC and Channel 5 where I had worked, and I love them and I love all the people. First of all, Brian Williams started the year, so that was great. And then they end the year by there's this 29-year-old kid from Ohio who came in. He goes by the Twitter handle of Muckrakery. His name is Brandon Smith, and he's the guy who sued to get Rahm's video, and nobody else did it. They filed Freedom of Information Act requests, but the NBC5 Investigates team, NBC5 Investigates, you know what their motto is? We take no for an answer. They didn't go for it. Channel 7, the so-called #1 station in Chicago, They didn't even file a Freedom of Information Act request. You're telling me these
Dave
people...
Savini did, though, on CBS. I
They-
know that
they
he
filed
did.
one,
And
but-
in the Coleman case, he did, too.
But they didn't follow up.
The internet is a series of tubes.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
You can get health insurance no matter what the status of your health is. This is possible through Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois with a tax-free and tax-deductible health savings account PPO plan. Hi, this is Tom Marabali, your independent representative and consumer advocate for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. I am working with a few state senators telling them that all of the Illinois government employees, which include all state, county, municipal, and city of Chicago workers, including the teacher union members, that they need these plans. Since we, the taxpayers, are paying for these expensive health insurance benefits, employees that have health savings account PPO plans could reduce the monthly premiums by approximately 40% and save hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars. So call me at 630-863-3477 about my tax-free PPO health insurance plans. That's 630-863-3477, and I will give you a free monthly quote and tell you more about saving hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars with more comprehensive plans.
This is Amy Jacobson. I'm excited to tell everybody who's considered buying a MyPillow but hasn't that now with the buy one get one free offer, you'll also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Basically, you can try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. What are you waiting for? It is so important to get a great night's sleep. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. Plus, it's washable and keeps its shape to give you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. For the MyPillow buy one get one free offer and 60-day money-back guarantee, visit mypillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code Amy. Do it now. This offer is for a limited time. 800-489-0201 or online at mypillow.com. Promo code Amy. 800-489-0201.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up. Oh, yeah. Controversial comments by Clinton and a fired up response by Donald Trump. And then later, it's a story everyone's talking about. The reason why Steve Harvey should never visit Colombia. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good Monday morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. Rain 40, Las Vegas. Not the site of terror, but it was a horrific accident. And intentional, according to police, when a woman drove her car onto the sidewalk and mowed down people up and down the Vegas Strip. One person is dead from last night's crash, several critically hurt after the woman moved onto the sidewalk at least a couple of times and started running down casino goers.
The six people that were injured in this accident that are critical, we have gotten word that they are stable, so that's good news.
Deputy Chief Brett Zimmerman moments ago, the woman expected to be charged later this morning. President Obama insists the U.S. strategy in fighting ISIS is working.
This is not an organization that can destroy the United States. This is not a huge industrial power that can pose great risks to us institutionally or in a systematic way. But they can hurt us, and they can hurt our people and our families.
During a wide-ranging year-end interview on NPR that will air today, the president said he understands why some are worried. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump calling Democrat candidate Hillary Clinton flat out a liar.
Whether it's trips where she was being gunned down in a helicopter or an airplane, she's a liar, and everybody knows that.
On NBC's Meet the Press, Hillary Clinton's camp is defending her comments that Trump's rhetoric is being used by ISIS.
His hot rhetoric, saying we should not allow Muslim refugees into the country, is being used, and this is something that the SITE International Group has.
Clinton referring to a video during the latest Democrat presidential debate. A New Hampshire city is closing its schools today because of the threat of violence. Nashua District announcing it's received a detailed threat of violence against students at the city's two public high schools. Today is the day the FAA begins registering drones. Just about all of the hundreds of thousands of Americans who own drones are now required to register them. Thousands of bags of candy are being recalled this Christmas time because they may make you sick or worse. Mars Chocolate North America recalling its Dove chocolate assortment, Snowflakes, because the 24-ounce bags contain pieces of Snickers, Milky Way, and Twix that all have peanuts, wheat, and eggs not identified on the package. A victim of a fire on Chicago's South Side remains in critical condition. That blaze broke out yesterday afternoon in a home in the 7700 block of South Champlain. Chicago police were on the lookout for an armed suspect who sexually assaulted a woman at a Northside CTA stop. The attack happened Saturday morning near the Jarvis Red Line stop. And President Barack Obama is commuting prison sentences for 9 from Illinois. The commutations are for prisoners that were convicted of nonviolent drug offenses. Individuals from Chicago, Peoria, Carbondale, Danville, and Cahokia. Chicago sports, Minnesota pounds the Bears 38-17. Blackhawks score an overtime win over San Jose 4-3. The news, a service of the Chicago Blue Cart Recycling. Did you know that using a plastic bag to throw items into your blue cart can ruin your recycling effort? Lose the bag, keep the recycling. Throwing away only recyclable materials into the blue carts. You can prevent contamination and protect the environment. For more information, visit chicagorecycles.org. 5:34 is our time. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher isn't so sure the president's strategy in ISIS will work.
Isn't it reasonable that if somebody's on the no-fly list, they shouldn't be allowed to buy a gun? That's the kind of stuff that's going to defeat ISIS, isn't it? Now, that's what I call prioritizing. Holy cow. Lord, help us.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
The Chicago Wolves have 3 home games over the holiday break. Be there Saturday at 7 as they face Iowa on calendar night, courtesy of Domino's. For information, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
Merry Christmas, honey. Santa got something for you.
Aw, thanks, babe. Oh, look, it's my very own dust bunny.
What? How did that get in there?
I'm not sure, but I'd classify this as a gift we probably shouldn't give to anyone.
Sorry, sweetie. I feel awful. It's probably time to clean up before the rest of the family invades this week, huh?
Give the gift of a clean house this holiday season from Royal Air Duct Cleaning. There's no better time to tidy up for your guests than right now, because with a visit to RoyalAirDuctCleaning.com, you'll stuff your stocking with an incredible $149 special, normally $298. Send sneezes, dust bunnies, and allergens on their way so you can welcome in a clean holiday. Visit RoyalAirDuctCleaning.com now to cash in on your $149 special. Ask them about their carpet cleaning for that extra twinkle and sparkle. That's RoyalAirDuctCleaning.com. Happy holidays from the Royal Air Duct Cleaning family to you.
5:36 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim this morning, here's Dominic Fortini.
Problems in the downtown area at the Four Seasons. So we've got some police activity staging near Delaware and Rush. On the northwest side, watch for a crash near Belmont and Sacramento. Edens and Kennedy looking okay. Eisenhower, big problems early today. Outbound, we've got a crash just before 25th now. A rollover blocks 3 left lanes, already a half hour from the post office to Manheim. 43 to Thorndale. Inbound, you've got the left lane blocked right before the crash site with some emergency equipment. They're going to deal with that. 40 minutes already from Thorndale into the post office. Also have an issue on the inbound side of the Bishop Ford with a crash right around 111th. Traffic's a service of Let Us Entertain You. Give the gift that fits all appetites. A Let Us Entertain You gift card. Receive a free $25 holiday bonus for every $100 in Lettuce gift cards you buy. Simply visit a Lettuce restaurant or LEYE.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Cloudy, windy, little rain today through the early afternoon, a high near 50. Currently 42 at O'Hare. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Radio Garden Sense, a show bringing your property's gardening needs alive. Radio Garden Sense, Sunday mornings at 11 on AM 560 The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560 The Answer.
Good Monday morning. Welcome back.
Good morning
to the Dan and Amy Show, Chicago's Morning Answer. But filling in for one Dan Proft is one Bruce Wolf. You know, Dan is...
What's he doing? Is he on vacation?
He's taking the next 3 days off. Well, actually, 2 weeks, really. I mean, but 3 work days I'm filling in.
Because I follow
for him,
Dan on
filling in
Twitter.
for
I don't know. You know, he's a very secretive guy. I only worked with him 5 hours every single day for 5 years. And I spent more time with him than with anybody else. And I don't know anything about him. He's opaque to me. So,
well, he's either at Jedi training camp.
Oh, sure.
Or,
you know, he used to go to like War College in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's what he
I used to make
does
fun
for
of it. I'd
fun.
say, oh, did you know, do like Civil War reenactments and things like that.
Does he do that?
No, we didn't do that.
Or he's with
Is it true like
Mayor Emanuel in Cuba. They left on Saturday, but no one was supposed to know about that trip.
That said, Amy and I as parents make a decision every year to take our children to see other parts of the world. It's something my parents did with me because I think it's not only a great family time, but most importantly, and it's a great family time where they don't have to share me as a mayor, but they get to have me totally 100% as their father.
You can be had totally by your family for the rest of your life, you little stunk. You shouldn't be the mayor of the city of Chicago. He's a latter-day Jim Crow mayor. Remember in the Jim Crow era?
Uh-huh.
No, you don't, because you weren't
we
alive.
studied about it.
Yeah, okay. They had literacy tests for blacks to keep them away from the polls. Rahm has instituted an illiteracy test. He denied everybody the knowledge that they were entitled to by keeping that video from the black populace. You know, if I'm Dan Proft right now, I run for mayor of the city of Chicago.
I've been trying to convince him to do that.
I go on that picket line right now, leave this job. I'm here. I can come in and it's Dan, if you want it, you can come back anytime.
So you'll be his seat warmer while he's gone.
Right, which Republicans usually are. They're seat warmers, which is why Donald Trump is good in that sense, because all Republicans ever are seat warmers, and we continue apace down the road to Gomorrah.
Yeah, well, Dan is either in Cuba or in Hawaii with the Obamas. Now, did you see President Obama on the way to Hawaii? He stopped in San Bernardino to
San Bernardino is spelled with a parentheses around the second R, because nobody really pronounces the second R.
San Bernardino.
Yeah, there's a second R in Bernardino, but I think there's a parentheses surrounding it because it's like understood.
Well, he was consoler in chief and went and spent 4 hours with the victims' family members. And of course, he said he was going to do it privately.
Oh.
And of course, it wasn't private
Well,
because he spoke to the media afterwards.
Well,
but I don't fault him for going.
no,
I mean,
it's
if
all
it's important to the families and if it gives them some comfort.
Did he invite them to play golf with him at Kapalua?
No, he didn't.
All right. See, I would have done that.
Yes. Yeah. So, that's where Dan is. Dan's going to be gone for a few days, and then the show shuts down for a week.
Do you play like the best of or something?
Yeah. Maybe you can get in the best of.
Was the best
Got
of?
any Benjamin Franklins over there to give
you know
Dave
what the best
Stripling
of
and I?
for me this year on
Yeah.
this show was in September, like on day 2 or 3 after the death of G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
We were the only ones in the city of Chicago on the air, thanks to you.
Well, at first I didn't believe it,
Yeah,
and then
but
I did
at-
some
at
digging.
Day
and
1. But we were the first ones to question this. Well, you got people like on all the TV stations who are crying over G.I. Joe forever. Even after the coroner came out a week or 2 later, they were still tepid about it, and they weren't asking serious questions because the Chicago media, can I say this on WID?
Yeah, say it.
Sucks. They suck.
Because they didn't have the
NBC
testicular fortitude to come forward and call it what it is.
NBC5 investigates. We take no for an answer. Yeah.
Well, I was texting back and forth with Chuck Gowdy during that time, and he and I were on the same page.
But he didn't say it on the air.
page. Well, I know. That's the thing. I don't
they
know
don't do it.
why they didn't do it.
Yeah, because-
they all knew. They knew.
Of course they know. Of course you know.
From the
You know why they
phantom
don't?
trio of a black guy and 2 white guys, which it turned out the guy wasn't black. He was Hispanic and he had dreadlocks.
The fake guy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Because they're tepid, because it's a herd mentality, they're horrible. And they need somebody to come in there and shake things up. And it's not me, because I'm too old.
You're not too old.
There's
Never
a 29-year-old kid from
Uh-huh.
Ohio named Brandon Smith who goes by the Twitter handle of Muckrakery. And he was the one who forced Rahm to produce the video. That guy should be the king of Chicago media right now, of the Chicago newsrooms. And
We
then,
had him on the show.
Okay, and then a twit like Robert Feeder, who is just the de facto PR guy for, and I popped
Wow,
my
how
PR
do you
right there.
really feel about Robert Feeder? I like Robert Feeder.
Personally, I used to be friends with him.
What
Very
happened?
close friends.
Air
happened
your dirty laundry.
No,
What's going on?
what happened is that he's just. I mean, he's totally inconsistent. He is a
What
flack.
did he do to you personally?
Well, he wrote about the traffic reporter
Uh-huh.
at WLS, Kelly Walker, and wrote a BS story about her and didn't even interview her properly.
Did he interview you about it?
He gave me the opportunity to talk about it. He didn't tell me that she was going to make charges against me. But
Uh-huh.
that's, nobody cares about the traffic reporter on the morning show on WLS. I'm just saying that there's this whole ethos, there's this whole culture in Chicago news media that needs to be shaken up. And that's why a 29-year-old kid, and then you and Dan do it, here at AM 560, but it's very,
back
very
to
tough to shake
Lieutenant-
that. Well,
Lieutenant Glinowitz?
and it's embodied by the way the Glinowitz case was handled.
Well, here's Lieutenant Glinowitz's son, who apparently married G.I. Joe's mistress so that she could
Who needs to see the
defraud
affair?
the government.
I know my father. My family knows my father, and his closest friends knew him as well. He was not someone who ever contemplated suicide. He never had suicidal tendencies or anything like that.
But everybody proved differently. And it's starting to sink in. And also, what I've been told by my sources is after the holidays, the son that you heard just right there is going to be charged with defrauding the government because he was involved in a sham marriage.
Are you sure of this? That's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
happen?
Oh, yeah. He
I
was
think you're
involved in a
safe.
sham marriage with Kathy Grams, who was really the dad's mistress.
Wait,
and
let me
by,
follow
and by,
this family
and by
tree
marrying
here.
her, since he was in the Army, she received
they
received together $1,400 a month from government benefits, and he cut her $500 a month from that $1,400. But she also was able to receive health care for herself and her 2 children.
See, this is all, the
Inside
postscript.
baseball.
But it's the postscript to the big story. And the big story was the one that you were on top of on day 2, and nobody else in Chicago on
They
Chicago
were afraid
radio
to
or
say
TV.
it. I mean, they were flat out, because I talked
They
to
were
my friends
afraid.
at Channel 5. I said, why? Because they were keeping crews there around the clock and putting people up in hotels, and photographers were sleeping in live trucks. And for what?
They're horrible.
To search for a phantom trio. Your daughter was in a rush. She lived in Volo, and there was that
Yes.
fake sighting of the trio.
Right. And she
And
was
that-
scared to death because her
Yeah.
husband was out of town, and she had, 3 little kids there. No, I'm just what's and look like for example, I'm talking about Channel 5, but it's any channel. I mean, I love like Marion Brooks, Channel 5, but on the day it happened, the sentiment, the goo, the gush.
Well, that's because so many police officers nationwide have been under attack and murder. It's coming
as
off
a-
the heels of a Houston police officer
And he
getting
was
killed.
portrayed as a hero. Look, when I looked at his haircut, I immediately was
What do you
questioned.
mean?
Also, I looked at the wife, and she looked like Mrs. Petraeus. And so I'm figuring there's a Paula Broadwell
so
in him.
catty. Oh, rawr. Yeah, there was a Paula Broadwell in her, and her name was Kathy Grams.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Here's your weather forecast for December 21st, 4 days until Christmas.
Would you tell me to start talking about something else? Because I'm just going to rail on the
Oh, no.
media,
Yeah, well-
specifically Channel 5, which I love. It's a love-hate situation. And I don't want it to make it about me. Let's talk about Steve Harvey and how bad he is. All right, now for a check of the weather right now. Today it's going to be mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon, a high of 50 tonight. Low clouds, a low of 35 on your Christmas day. Partial sunshine, high of 44, low of 36. And now for a check of traffic. Here's the previously mispronounced Dom Fortini.
Eden's looking good in both directions this morning. So is the Kennedy, but you're a little slow between the River Road Toll Plaza and Cumberland. That earlier rollover crash outbound side of the Ike right around 17th has been moved off the road. Still a half hour from the post office to Manheim, 43 to Thorndale. Some inbound delays as well, as we had some Gapers delays between Manheim and 17th. Inbound side of the Stevenson, you've got a stall on the ramp to the Ryan. Meanwhile, inbound Ryan slowing up right around Cermak, already 18 minutes from 95th in a downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Hot pot of coffee!
Having a great smile to show off makes you feel good. There's no embarrassment associated with being able to flash your pearly whites whenever you want. If you'd like to feel that comfort and confidence with your smile, there's only one person who can help you. Dr. Neruzzi of Fox River Periodontics.
This is Brian DeWolf. I have 2 implants from Fox River Periodontics. I had one, I was happy with it, so I had another one done, and I love them. The idea of dentures didn't appeal to me at all. I didn't want that appliance in my mouth. These implants are wonderful. They're just like your real teeth, and they're probably even better because there's no nerve attached to them, so there's no pain, and they last forever. Dr. Neruzzi is great, and his staff is wonderful, and I trust him completely. If you're looking for dental implants, or considering dental implants for a missing tooth or for a whole mouthful, talk to Dr. Neruzzi. You'll be happy you did, and Fox River Periodontics.
This is Dr. Neruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants. Go to implantsforme.com.
It's easy to take your commercial HVAC system for granted. It's always there, keeping your building comfortably warm or cool. Until you have a system failure. With another unforgiving Chicago winter just around the corner, now's the time to have a comprehensive review of your mechanical HVAC system. And you don't want just anyone. You want Air Comfort, Chicagoland's leading mechanical professionals. For over 80 years, Air Comfort has delivered its customers the best trained and highly skilled team of award-winning technicians. That's why Air Comfort is recognized as Star Certified by the MSCA, a designation achieved by only 2% of contractors nationwide. With a service fleet of more than 80 fully equipped vehicles, chances are that an Air Comfort technician is nearby. Schedule your system check by calling now, 708-345-1900. That's 708-345-1900 or online at aircomfort.com.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream Idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. 97. That's the percentage of Chicago Teachers Union members who voted yes in a recent mock vote. Yes, they voted. They are prepared to go out on strike for the second time in 4 years. The annual average CPS teacher salary is just under $80,000. And that's before you include their health insurance benefits and guaranteed 7-figure pensions. The bankrupt, junk-rated Chicago public schools spend more than $15,000 annually per pupil, and yet 75% of 4th and 8th graders are neither proficient in reading nor math. This in a system of nearly 400,000 students. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the teachers union or the mayor's office? Yes, there are no white hats in the story of central planners from City Hall fighting with the central planners from the teachers union over who gets to be the lead central planner at CPS. If the teachers strike, they deserve to be unlocked from their jobs. CPS students deserve access to schools that will give them the opportunity to earn an education that sets them on a course for success in life. The only way that happens is if the adults inside CPS, the parents, and the adults outside CPS, state political leaders, change the flow of money away from central planners and to families so that they may make the same choices for their children that Tiny Dancer did for his kids matriculating at the University of Chicago Lab School. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
Coming up next, it's me, Mike Gallagher, right after Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. Bruce Wolf in for the one and only Dan Proft. And you know what? When speeding in one county may be a good thing. Have you ever been pulled over for speeding?
Well, then I just, wink a little bit.
Lift up your skirt, Bruce,
Sure.
and say, look at my sexy legs.
Yeah, I actually do have very nice legs.
Oh, you
very
do?
feminine legs.
Do you shave them or wax them? Oh, wow, that was
I
personal.
have no hair on my legs.
Really? Let me see your arms. Do you have any hair in your arms? Oh, gosh, you have
None.
no hair in your
But
arms.
I have a lot of hair on my head.
But you don't have hair in your back, right?
No.
Big
none.
turn off for the ladies. I'm glad you don't.
But how about a hairy chest? See, I don't have much.
It's all right. So when
I'm
you
like
do
a
get
gay model. That's what I am.
when you get pulled over, do you normally get out of the tickets?
I don't get pulled over because I'm a very
here you
tepid
go.
driver. I go like, if the speed limit is 150,
Oh,
I'll
really?
go
In
like
the Autobahn?
I'll go like. Have you ever been like in Germany?
I was
driven
over the
there.
summer.
No, this was like 25 years ago. We were
Mhm.
there, and you're driving in these little tin cans. I mean, they're not safe at all, and you're going like 100 miles an hour. And I got to tell you, but they always, at least I noticed this was in France, excuse me. And they would, what they would do is they would put their turn signals on to change lanes, even if there was nobody around them.
Because it's the law.
But there would be no other car on the road.
I love that.
They would do that, but they'd go like 80 kilometers over the speed limit. They don't care about that, but they would put the turn signal on.
When I was on the Autobahn this past summer, I had my hazards on and I was driving in the right-hand lane.
There we go.
I precious cargo, and I'm not into that. I was on it, and then I thought, you know what, I got to get off this. And
I would
got off
hate
as
to
soon
be
as possible.
stopped on the Autobahn by their police, the sirens.
Oh,
I would think I was in like a Holocaust movie.
Well, a
or
lot of
something.
people in Monroe County, which is in Georgia, heard those lights and sirens that you were just describing when they got pulled over. But the thing is, this was a trick. Instead of getting a ticket, they received cash. So here's the deal. An anonymous person donated $5,000 to the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, and the person asked if deputies could pull over people with some minor violations and give them money instead of giving a ticket. So this woman, she was pulled over for a broken taillight, single mother of 6, experiencing hard times right now, and this is what happened.
You're having a little difficulties with your vehicle breaking down. You got 6 kids, and it's holiday season, so I guess that puts a lot of stress on your family, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay. Well, listen, like I told you, I pulled you over because you had headlights, a little minor violation, okay? And typically what happens with that is you would most likely get a ticket, okay? But today we're out giving something different than tickets. We want to give a donation based on the sheriff's office and myself and the Secret Santa that we had, okay?
Oh, my God.
Allowed us to spread a little joy through the community. So we'd like to give you a donation towards your family to help with whatever you need to do through the holiday right now, okay? You sure can.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
She said, can I hug you? But she's like,
Oh,
yeah,
you
hug you.
You didn't play the rest of the tape, which I believe he spots the cocaine in the car and pays her like 100% over street value.
All right, so he
for it.
gave her
I mean, it was
a
wonderful.
Benjamin Franklin $100, and then the next guy that he pulls over thought it was a form of entrapment. Listen to this.
And you were telling me, work's been a little slow, and you about got Christmas taken care of. So today, instead of handing you a citation or writing you a ticket that's going to cost you money, I'd like to give you this donation. Take with you for your family. It's what we're doing today. Are you serious?
Um,
I'm positive. So you take this and use it on the youngins or your children. I guess would be a better terminology there, and that'll hopefully help you through the holiday season.
You ain't gonna put your handcuffs on me, are you?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right, buddy.
You're going to put your handcuffs
I
on
think
me.
you wanted the handcuffs.
And then the last one was the grandma.
It's gonna help Christmas. We bought one gift for my grandson, and that's it. And we've not done anything else so far.
Spreading holiday cheer, one pullover at a time.
This is Sam Gilberto, president of American Embroidery and Screen Printing and American Marketing Products. We specialize in putting your logo on just about anything. Our focus is entirely on you, our customer. We want every customer experience to be outstanding. American Embroidery and Screen Printing is a brick and mortar business located in Glendale Heights. Our equipment and manufacturing processes are state of the art, so are the people who work here. With over 40 years experience, we have the capability, capacity, and know-how to get your job done right and on time. I want to earn your business, so for a limited time, we're offering free artwork on embroidery and screen printing orders for all new customers. Let us help you gear up for that big trade show, provide shirts or jackets for all your employees, students, or church members, or simply provide you with giveaway items such as coffee mugs, pens, or hats. Whatever it is, you can trust an American to take care of it. It's easy to contact us, trustinamerican.com. That's trustinamerican.com, or call at 630-766-2825.
Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. So you get yourself one of those blood tests with all the poking and prodding. They're always looking for some kind of bad news. Most blood tests these days are very lacking, only screening you for the big, bad, and ugly diseases, and with you never really getting the good news, or even knowing what to do with the not-so-good news. So let me tell you about our dirt-cheap comprehensive blood test. First of all, we'll be testing a wide variety of different health factors, and not just the ugly few. And then we're going to sit down with you and strategize with all that we learned from your blood test findings. And I promise that you're going to know more about what you can do to help improve your health using a more natural, common-sense approach. And for over 30 33 years, we've been very successful at setting people free from their toxic medications. It's our dirt cheap comprehensive blood test. Call 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. That's 800-794-1855. Be sure to tune in to Health Quest Radio with me, Dr. David Kolbaba, this Saturday morning at 11.
No one ever imagines facing Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia and needing full-time care, but it happens. And deciding on the right residential care for mom or dad can be a monumental task. There is a memory care community that focuses on helping your parent or loved one with dementia light up and live life to the fullest, making them feel like family. Autumn Leaves memory care communities see past the diagnosis to the person you know, that your dad was a fantastic cook or that your mom loved to dance, a person who deserves so much more than being just an Alzheimer's patient. Whether it's through yoga and music therapy or simply by cooking them their favorite meal, Autumn Leaves strives to stimulate their minds and bodies to respect and nurture the person you care so much about. See for yourself the difference Autumn Leaves communities can mean for your family. Autumn Leaves, dedicated solely to the unique needs of memory care patients.
Autumn Leaves has 10 locations in the Chicagoland area offering day-stay respite and assisted living programs. Call 888-662-8886 or visit autumnleaves.com.
Change in the market shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. In fact, since World War II, we've seen a correction on average about once every 18 months. That's why Arlington Capital Management developed proprietary tools that help them to see what's beyond your investment horizon. Like an experienced ship captain uses tools to avoid stormy weather, Arlington Capital Management uses tools to guide you through market corrections before it's too late and help us decide when to capitalize on opportunity. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 to learn how their active management systems can help you. Each day, they actively explore the market, our economy, and all the variables that affect your investments. Stormy markets never cloud their vision. The professionals at Arlington Capital Management use their tools and experience to guide them. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 for a financial review. The number again is 855-471-5796 or learn more at arlington-capital.com.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, the worst mistake in TV awards show history, and it involves a Chicagoan, but was it a planned stunt? We'll explain, but first let's go back into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Police say it wasn't terror, but there was horror on the Las Vegas Strip.
I saw the car up on the sidewalk coming towards us.
Mowing people down last night.
There was no squeal of brakes, just screaming.
One person was killed, at least 30 others injured outside the Paris and Planet Hollywood resorts.
At this point, we are treating this as an intentional act. She is in the detention center right now. She's speaking to detectives.
Las Vegas Police Lieutenant Dan McGrath, the woman driver who had a 3-year-old in the car with her at the time, is also being blood tested to see if she had drugs or alcohol in her system. In New Hampshire, they're taking no chances, authorities say, after threats at 2 schools in Nashua, and now all schools in the city will be closed today. There were threats also to close schools last week in California and Indiana. Another poll has Ted Cruz, the Republican presidential frontrunner in Iowa, leading Donald Trump by 9 points. Though the CBS poll does show Trump still has big leads in New Hampshire and South Carolina, and he is not happy about what Hillary Clinton said about him. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
During the Democratic presidential debate Saturday night, Clinton said Trump has become ISIS's best recruiter, suggesting the terror group is circulating videos of his comments about Islam. Trump told ABC's This Week that was a fabrication.
They may make one up knowing the Clintons and knowing Hillary.
Longtime Clinton supporter Lanny Davis defended the Democratic frontrunner on Fox News, calling Trump a jerk.
We would love to take on a bigot who alienates and insults fellow Republicans.
Clinton did not offer evidence on the debate stage to back up her claim about the ISIS videos. Dave?
Rachel, the new Star Wars, a force at the box office.
It was really good. It was awesome.
All those fans who lined up helped The Force Awakens set a record with a $238 million opening weekend in the U.S., more than $500 million internationally. This is Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
43 degrees, rain showers across the area, 6:02 on AM 560 The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. A victim of a fire on Chicago's South Side is in critical condition. Blaze began yesterday afternoon in a house on the 7700 block of South Champlain. A man was hurt in that fire and then transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center. Total of 23 Illinois hospitals this morning are set to be penalized for high infection rates and injuries. According to the Chicago Tribune, the hospitals will lose 1% of their Medicare reimbursement. The Illinois Hospital Association says it will cost more than $12 million. Chicago police are on the lookout for an armed suspect who sexually assaulted a woman at a Northside CTA-L stop. The attack happened Saturday morning near the Jarvis Red Line stop, and detectives tell us they're hoping that a witness saw the man and will recognize him from still photographs. Several people who live in South Suburban Harvey this morning want a local alderman removed from office. Rally was held calling for the ouster of Lamont Brown. AFSCME says the alderman lied about previous felony convictions before he was elected. Demonstrators also claim Brown plans to block a tax levy that could lead to job cuts in police, fire, and public works departments. Did you know cash-strapped Illinois has at least $4 billion in the bank? The money's in special funding, sits in special funds in the state budget created for a specific purpose. But an AP analysis shows it's in 531 accounts that could be ripe for the picking as a fix to the budget mess. Chicago sports. Minnesota beat the Bears 38-17 on Sunday. Teddy Bridgewater threw a career-high 4 touchdown passes. Bears head coach John Fox says their struggles continue.
We just haven't improved. I think, we've had some injuries. Today's game was a little unusual in that we fell behind, had to throw it maybe a little bit more than, we had in prior games to stay in the game.
Last night in the NHL, Jonathan Toews scored at 2:21 of overtime, and the Blackhawks bested San Jose 4-3. The news, a service of Chicago Blue Cart Recycling. Did you know that using a plastic bag to throw items into your blue cart can ruin your recycling effort? Lose the bag, keep recycling by throwing only recyclable materials into blue carts. Doing that can prevent contamination and protect the environment. For more information, visit chicagorecycles.org. 6:04, time to have air comfort. Check your building's mechanical system, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
This Christmas season, AM 560 The Answer wants to help you celebrate by building your very own Christmas music playlist. It's 12 days of Christmas music. Just download the AM 560 mobile app on your smartphone, and once you're registered, you'll be able to download Christmas favorites from artists like Bing Crosby, Paul McCartney, Leanne Rimes, Nat King Cole, and others. Absolutely free. Celebrate Christmas with free music on the AM 560 mobile app.
This announcement is for all people who want to look their best this holiday season using clinically proven Power Swabs. Power Swabs whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes and guarantee your friends and family will be amazed when they see your new white smile this holiday. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-663-1592. That's 1-800-663-1592. 1-800-663-1592.
Ho, 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 in one. The Golfsmith Gift Pros here with another gift-giving lesson. Here's a letter from Sylvia. Dear Gift Pros, what should I get my husband for Golfmas? Sylvia, how about a new set of clubs? With a qualifying purchase of Callaway XR irons or woods, you'll get a free gift card valued at up to $150. Ask one of our experts for details. And remember to swing your credit card with one fluid motion. For more gift-giving tips, go to Golfsmith or golfsmith.com. Anything for golf.
6:06 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Inbound side of the Kennedy getting hung up out of the River Road Toll Plaza, 25 minutes O'Hare into downtown. 10 in from the junction. The earlier crash on the outbound side of the Ike near 17th now gone. 30 minutes from the post office to Manheim. 43 to Thorndale. Inbound delays between Manheim and First. Inbound side of the Ryan, 21 minutes and climbing 95th into downtown. Watch for brake lights as you approach the Stevenson. Inbound I-57 slows near 119th after an earlier crash near 111th. Traffic's a service of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Someone you know is suffering from Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. They're dealing with excruciating pain and days when they won't be able to get out of bed. Help someone you know and support the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America at ccfa.org. traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Mostly cloudy with a little rain into the early afternoon and wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. High today 50. Low clouds through the night tonight with a low of 36. Then tomorrow clouds and sun, high 44, and a bit of rain late at night, low 39. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf joining us this morning on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Power Trading Radio. Heard Sundays at 2 p.m. Brought to you each week by Online Trading Academy.
Good morning. Welcome to your Monday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Hillary Clinton and her Democratic rivals facing off for the last time this year. The debate featured arguments, an apology, and a closing line from Clinton that went immediately viral.
Thank you, good night, and may the force be with you.
Hillary Clinton's campaign firing back, lashing out at rival Bernie Sanders' team for tapping into their private voter files.
This was a very egregious breach, and our data was stolen. This was not an inadvertent glimpse into our data.
Does Secretary Clinton deserve an apology tonight?
Yes, I apologize.
Secretary Clinton, do you accept?
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Monday morning. Welcome back to the Big John and Amy show. Wow, what happened to me? Welcome back to the Chicago's Morning Answer. Amy Jacobson here. Sitting in for Dan Proft is one very handsome, rejuvenating young man known as Bruce Wolf.
I'm 62 years old.
The hottest
I could be your
62-year-old I know.
right?
Yeah, you could be my father.
Amy, I am your father. I did not see the Star Wars movie, and I'm not going to.
It was your homework assignment for today.
I did not see it.
Well, it's a big smash at the box office.
Yeah,
Everyone's
right,
talking about it.
I saw the one in 1977 in the movie theaters. It's the same thing, I'm sure.
But what everybody's talking about this morning, and we will take your phone calls on our Turnkey.pro answer line, 312-642-5600, or send us a text on the Turnkey.pro text line, 64636, type in DA, and then your comment, or you can call or email us directly, Bruce, from the AM 560 mobile app on your smartphone. But the
segment's over because you just told people, you spent 10 minutes just telling people how to get in touch with us.
312-642-5600, because I want to know if you think this was a planned stunt or if this was an accident. Everyone's talking about it this morning, calling it the worst mistake in TV awards show history. Of course, I'm talking about Las Vegas last night on the Strip, not the car accident. That was a horrible thing in and of itself. But this was the Miss Universe pageant. And our very own Chicagoan Steve Harvey was the moderator.
Colombia! I have to apologize.
Ruh-roh. Let's stop right there. So he calls Miss Colombia Adriana Gutierrez, and she looks exactly, and I mean the spinning image of Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
I mean, they couldn't
I'm
look
a Julie
more like.
Bowen guy myself.
All right,
they're the Ginger and Mary Ann of the 21st century.
Exactly.
And I used to be a Ginger guy, back in the Gilligan's Island day, but now I like Julie Bowen because I like neurotic blondes, which is why I like sitting across from you.
Thank you. Well, Steve Harvey admitted that he made a terrible mistake, and he announced her. She was crowned. She received the bouquet of flowers. She walks to the end of the stage. She's waving her Colombian flag. Chuno, I love you too. Crying. And then,
Is that a hate crime that you just committed?
He read the wrong name.
The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines. Miss Philippines, take your first walk as Miss Universe.
It was really the most unbelievable ending to a pageant that was televised live in many countries. It was on Fox last night here in the United States.
You know I'm the attorney for Miss Colombia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And me and Bombastic Bush are representing her. And we are filing a lawsuit against Steve Harvey because he's worth $75 million a year. You know, that's how much. And against Fox TV. And
Why?
we're also filing it, including as a defendant, the Universe, since this was Miss Universe.
Yes.
So they're joint and severally liable. We are filing a lawsuit for the negligent infliction of severe emotional distress. Miss Columbia will, and what we want is $100 billion plus
$100 billion.
$100 billion plus we want her to get her own Columbia drug cartel. And so that's what we want.
Well, Miss Philippines, she was, in shock. And Miss USA, who is also one of the runner-ups.
Oh, is it Philippines? Because Steve tweeted he was sorry
Get to that in a second. We'll get to
I'm
that in a
sorry.
second. But no.
Okay.
So she reluctantly, she was in shock. She was shell-shocked, as everyone else was. And Miss USA said, no, go forward. You're the winner. You're Miss Universe. And so she slowly walks up with deer in the headlights look on her face. And Miss Columbia was not releasing that crown anytime soon.
So they had a cat fight?
They had to. Well, they had to slowly remove the crown from Miss Columbia's head and put it on Miss Philippines.
I would have done a Game of Thrones thing and just, decapitated her.
And then they had to pass over the flowers. I mean, it was so awkward. Steve Harvey, egg all over his face, so embarrassed. You could tell he was shaking a little bit. And he holds up the card in his defense and admits to millions of people that, oh my gosh, I made a horrible mistake.
Well, didn't they?
Listen, folks, let me just take control of this. This is exactly what's on the card. I will take responsibility for this. It was my mistake. It was on the card.
What was on the card?
Horrible mistake, but the right thing, I can show it to you right here. The first runner-up is Columbia. It is my mistake. Still a great night.
Yeah, shut up.
Please don't hold it against the ladies. Please don't. We feel so badly, but it's still a great night. Thank you all.
Has this guy never seen a beauty pageant before? Does he not know that you first award Miss Congeniality,
right?
Then you award the first runner-up, and then you award the. Has he never seen a beauty pageant? I can't wait till the next Family Feud. Name 3 things that are the most embarrassing things in the world. Exactly.
When he won't get it right. But he, I really felt bad. Of course, he took immediately to Twitter and wrote, "I'd like to apologize wholeheartedly to Miss Columbia and Miss Philippines.
Miss Philippians.
For my huge mistake, I feel terrible."
So he made a mistake on his mistake,
right.
On his correction.
He spelled out
Philippians.
Yes,
he
so
thought it was a Bible verse.
He immediately deleted that and then spelled it correctly.
That's beautiful.
Miss Philippines.
Steve Harvey.
But some people are suggesting this morning that this switcheroo was actually a planned stunt. There's a Joe Adeline. He's a veteran television industry reporter. He said that this created buzz for Miss Universe pageant, which has not had any buzz lately. The only thing was, Donald Trump and NBC Universal used to own it until earlier this year. And now it's been taken over by somebody else, by this WME IMG talent
Amy,
agency.
Who among us has not made a mistake on television?
That is
Have you ever made a mistake on television, Amy? Have you ever done anything?
I've made a few grammatical errors.
But nobody's ever noticed anything that you've done on television that was a mistake?
312-642-5600.
Do you want to kill me now?
312-642-5600.
I keyed a car.
Do you think that this was a planned stunt?
Yes.
You do?
Well, I'm a Chicago guy.
Have you seen it, though? I mean, you're just hearing it.
No,
but
he apparently looks like he's really, and he's not that good an actor, so he probably wasn't. He's Steve Harvey. He's an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
Sure
Have you ever watched his show?
I know a producer on his show.
I know.
Yeah.
We know the same producer,
right.
but it's not a bad. It's it's a cheeky show. It's like
I don't like anything.
Light topic matters.
Yeah,
I'm
sure
break
he's
up with an abusive boyfriend type of
and he's
subject matters.
He does one-liners on it, and it's. I don't watch daytime TV.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. Let's say good morning to Colleen, who joins us from Wicker Park. Good morning, Colleen.
Good morning, and good morning to you, both of you. It's nice to hear you. I think he's going to take this, and it was an honest mistake, and he owned up to it. It's just lemons. He's going to make lemonade out of it. We'll probably see an SNL skit done on this.
It's funny that you mentioned that because Mark Caro, formerly of the Tribune, was tweeting this morning that he felt sorry for Kenan Thompson because he does the Steve Harvey impersonation. And my response to that is Kenan Thompson got to be in the payoff joke in one of the funniest sketches I have ever seen on SNL, which was Meet Your Second Wife.
Oh, yeah.
On
We'll
Saturday.
talk about that a little later. But yes.
Okay,
so-
I'm just teasing. I'm a TV
No,
radio
so yeah,
guy.
Colleen, this will definitely be an SNL skit. That's for sure.
No, because they're on hiatus. Nobody will remember this.
Nobody will remember. No,
Yeah.
I think they'll remember. But thanks, Colleen, for your
Thank
phone
you,
call.
Colleen.
Appreciate it.
Good programmer.
It
Colleen.
does remind me, though, of other Miss America pageants. Do you remember this? South Carolina.
Right, it's usually the contestants who are the idiots, not the host.
Yes, and here's a graphic example of that, Bruce Wolf.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries.
This is a
so
word
we will be
salad.
able to build up our future for our children.
You know what?
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
I think she could testify before the Benghazi committee for 11 hours and make as much sense.
Well, Steve Harvey, after his colossal mistake, some of people were tweeting he better not visit Colombia anytime soon because he was booed. So after he made that apology that I just played for you, they didn't even roll credits, faded to black, done, and people started booing. Those hot-headed Colombians, I love them. Friends with a lot of them. They did not like what happened. They're still shell-shocked.
Who cares? All of a sudden
And
they care.
booing. And they were because they're waving their Colombian flags. I don't know. What do you mean she didn't win? She looks exactly like Sofia Vergara.
So there's this great injustice about a contest that nobody cared about until the injustice occurred.
Exactly.
This is an utter disaster. This was the worst strategic mistake in the entire history of the United States.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
And now
Monday morning,
sure.
back to work. What's the weather going to be like?
The weather today is going to be mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon. A high of 50 tonight. Low clouds, low of 35 on Christmas. Partial sunshine, high of 44. A low of Friday night of 36. Now it's time for a check of the traffic with Dom Fortini.
Inbound side of the Kennedy, 26 minutes O'Hare into downtown, 11 in from the Junction. Express lanes inbound, still a good choice. Outbound, 20 minutes from downtown out to O'Hare. Inbound side of the Ike, slowing up at Wolf, 39 minutes Thorndale into the post office, 26 from Manheim. Inbound Stevenson looking at 38 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore. Watch for some hangups. It's right around Central into Kedzie. Inbound Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th in, while the inbound Bishop Ford starts to slow up Stony Island feeder into the Ryan. Had an earlier crash right near 111th, still causing some issues. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
It's time to get out of the suburbs and enjoy all that the Chicago lakefront has to offer. Visit ChicagoRadioDeals.com and find a fabulous entertainment cruise experience for two on Lake Michigan. For only $150, you'll enjoy a gourmet dinner and a spectacular view of the Chicago skyline aboard an elegant yacht, the Odyssey. I usually take the Iliad, but I may take the Odyssey this time and go through the Straits of Scylla and Charybdis. Anyway, the Odyssey is at Navy Pier. If you feel like dancing the night away, then you'll love the Spirit of Chicago cruise. $125 for two includes dinner and fun in the floating rooftop and dancing while taking in the stunning views of the Chicago shoreline. Or for an evening of casual fun, great food, go aboard the Mystic Blue. By the way, I've been on all of these, and they're great. They're absolutely terrific. That one's, and the Mystic Blue's only $100 a couple. Of course, I got freebies, but it still was great. These cruises go out through the winter months, so you can enjoy dining, entertainment, and the lakefront aboard all these ships in the comfort of climate-controlled rooms. Romance and fun are in the air. Brought to you by ChicagoRadioDeals.com. ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
Imagine what you would do if your business had a surplus of utility savings. More than 30% of your building's annual energy use comes from your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. Air Comfort, Chicagoland's leading mechanical service provider, understands that you have better things to do with your money. There are new energy incentives offered by Chicagoland's largest utility provider that could help your business save hundreds, even thousands of dollars every month in utility costs. As a preferred partner. Air Comfort works closely with your business. They will identify the opportunities to reduce energy usage, select, purchase, and install equipment, and even help you complete and submit your incentive paperwork. Start saving on your utilities by calling now for your free consultation at 708-345-1900. That's 708-345-1900 or online at aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, a tradition of excellence since 1935.
Throughout December, we're celebrating Christmas here at AM 560 by helping you build your own Christmas playlist. This month, we're offering 12 days of Christmas music when you use the AM 560 mobile app on your smartphone. Now, if you don't have the app, go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download it. And once you have it, just open the app. And today, you can download the song. Are you ready? Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms. Thank you. You can add it to your own personal Christmas playlist, absolutely free. And check the app again on Wednesday when the free music download on AM 560, the mobile app, will be Little Drummer Boy. I love that song. By Andy Williams. And Merry Christmas from AM 560, The Answer.
A research institute is seeking a data scientist to increase the power and impact of advanced data science and modeling techniques for the natural gas industry. Execute billable tasks on projects that require modeling and data science skill sets, and participate in building the next generation of advanced software capabilities. Candidates must possess a master's degree in computer science plus 1 year of experience in data analysis and modeling with Bayesian networks, NoSQL, JavaScript, R, Java, and Python, and permanent U.S. work authorization. Please send cover letter and resume to Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018. That address again for cover letters and resumes is Jeremy Odehall, Director, Human Resources at Institute of Gas Technology, 1700 South Mount Prospect Road, Des Plaines, Illinois, 60018.
AM 560, The Answer.
Yeah. So after the debate on Saturday night, I flipped on over to Saturday Night Live and watched Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, and they're amazing. Amazing.
They are.
Actors.
And
they're funny. And she showed a picture of when they went back in Chicago in the mid-'90s when they were working for Second City, and they showed a still photo of them and how they've remained friends for 20 years. And they did the most clever skit I think I, as a woman, have ever seen
I, as a man.
on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, I
You liked
loved it.
The skit was called Meet Your Second Wife.
Hannah is currently an 8th grade student at Wellington Middle School, but one day, years in the future, she will be your second wife.
That's impossible. I love my wife. She supported me while I've been writing my novel, so.
But what if I told you in a few years one of your novels becomes a surprise bestseller and it's even optioned for a movie?
Ooh, yeah. Then yeah, no, I get it now.
So what they had 3 male contestants, and they didn't know what game they were going to be playing. They thought it was a home improvement show.
Sure.
And they're all each at 3 lecterns, and Amy and Tina are the moderators. They're the game show hosts.
Right.
And
Amy was something like Marianne Walsh, and Tina was Tina Fey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they bring out this 8th grader, and this 40-year-old man is looking at her thinking, oh, no, I have a wife. And they're like, no, you don't, because soon your wife's going to be gone, and this will be your new wife. Do you have anything to say to her? And he looks at her and he says, so what are your interests? And she says, I like horses.
Right. And then the next one, I love recreate. This is like the water cooler conversation, and it's who's going to be the water coolest right now, because we didn't see Star Wars, but we saw this sketch, which is even better than seeing Star Wars over the weekend. So the second one comes out, and she is even younger than she's like 5. She holds up 5 fingers to show how old she is, 5 years old. And then the third one is Kenan Thompson's next wife, and it turns they reveal a sonogram, and it's a fetus right now. It was on, Now we don't do it quite the justice giving you the Cliff Notes version of it, but it was hysterical.
Oh, it was
a great
because
sketch.
you think there's so many. Men
are pigs.
Well, there's a lot of older men who date women who are a lot younger.
Do you know what the average age of a woman is that a man, when a 20-year-old man likes a 20-year-old woman? Okay, I've read this. A 25-year-old man likes a 20-year-old woman. A 35-year-old man likes a 21-year-old woman. A 50-year-old man likes a 22-year-old woman. I mean, that is it's unfair. It's me. I love everybody.
Well, it's so one time when I was transitioning, I wasn't. Well, I don't know if I was dating him. Maybe we were entertaining each other, and I realized I had known him for a long time, and I didn't really think about the age difference. He graduated from high school in 1969. That was the year that I was born, and when I realized that, I was horrified.
For the record, I graduated in 1971, so I'm much younger than that.
But I'm just saying, I mean, if you put it in perspective like that, that's horrifying.
Well, what did you want? It was a daddy thing for you, right?
No, it was a daddy thing.
Sure it was.
But he's young. Well, he was young at heart, though, so he didn't act his age.
Was daddy young at heart?
What? No, it's so gross. But it was one of those situations where you're like, ew. And that skit, helped put it in perspective. Because women, we can't do what you guys do. We can't be 60, 65 years old dating 20-year-olds unless we had a lot of flipping money.
You remember that? That was awesome.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm amazed. I want to say thank you to Balance of Nature. You guys are awesome. God bless you. The reason I have so much enthusiasm is because I speak as a person who has investigated the things that are out there. What I see is that there's many, many people telling the same story, and it's ruining it for the people who really are true. You know, up until this point, I had a lot of doubt whether, you know, I have an instinct that there should be something you can spend some money on and get something good, and I hadn't found it, and I believe I have found it this time. So, again, awesome, and thank you.
The top 3 New Year's resolutions are health-related. Improve your odds by getting started early with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
I'm so excited to tell everybody who's considered buying a MyPillow but hasn't that now with the buy one get one free offer, you'll also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Basically, you could try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. I've got a MyPillow. My wife's got a MyPillow. Sometimes I grab her MyPillow because I got MyPillow envy.
To double up.
I just, here, you try mine. But they're the same. They're wonderful. They're cool on both sides.
I'm addicted to MyPillow. I can't sleep without it. Seriously.
Really?
And it's not a radio bit. It's true.
No. You'll get your best sleep ever. What are you waiting for? It's so important. Get a great night's sleep. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. Plus, it's washable, keeps its shape, and gives you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. For the MyPillow buy one, get one free offer and 60-day money-back guarantee, visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code AMY. Do it now. This offer is for a limited time. 800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com. Promo code AMY. 800-489-0201.
AM 560. The Answer.
And coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, who won the Democratic debate? And really, is the DNC in bed with Hillary Clinton? We'll ask Lynn Sweet, Washington Bureau Chief at the Chicago Sun-Times. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Shower, 40 degrees, winds out of the south at 15. A woman this morning is in custody and being blood tested and interviewed by police after they say she intentionally drove up on a busy Las Vegas sidewalk, killing one and injuring at least 30 others.
People were just coming back saying that children got hit, and that there was people everyone was so frantic and just running around.
The incident occurred in front of the Paris Hotel and Casino. Police say they're now reviewing Casino Hotel's surveillance video. Schools in a New Hampshire city are closed today because of a threat of violence. It's happening in Nashua, where district school officials say they received a detailed threat of violence against students at the city's 2 public high schools. 5 soldiers are dead, 4 more wounded after a suicide bomber attacked a U.S.-Afghan patrol today. It happened near the Bagram airfield. Politically this morning, Bernie Sanders says the volatile Middle East would be much more stable if Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi were still in power in Iraq and Libya.
It is easy for a major power like the United States to get rid of somebody like Saddam Hussein. But the reason I opposed the war in Iraq is I worried very much about the destabilization in the region and what would happen the day after.
On NBC's Meet the Press, meantime, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is hammering Hillary Clinton for claiming the U.S. is where it needs to be in the fight against ISIS.
He's the one who's got us into the World War III situation with Barack Obama. I mean, think about it. Oh, my gosh. With dead bodies in Paris, with dead bodies in San Bernardino, and with no plan from this administration about how to deal with it, we're finally where we need to be.
Clinton making the remark during the latest Democrat presidential debate. Christie on ABC's This Week. Steve Harvey at the wrong end of a few jokes this morning after a colossal mistake hosting the Miss Universe pageant in Las Vegas.
I will take responsibility for this. It was my mistake. It was on the card. Horrible mistake, but the right thing, I can show it to you right here. The first runner-up is Colombia. It is my mistake.
Harvey says he didn't mean to accidentally name the wrong person the winner, naming Miss Colombia Miss Universe 2015, but she was actually the first runner-up. We're watching space today as the Progress craft is on its way to the International Space Station. The Soyuz rocket lifting off this morning in Kazakhstan. Meantime, SpaceX will try again tonight to launch its Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral. A victim of a fire on Chicago's South Side is in critical condition. The blaze started yesterday afternoon in a house on the 7700 block of South Champlain. The cause is under investigation. And this morning there is a new report that shows almost half of the students graduating high school in Illinois are in need of remedial classes in community college, according to a new report from the Board of Education. The report, using data from the 2013 graduating class who went on to community college, saying students need help in math more than in any other subject. Minnesota beat the Bears Sunday 38-17 on the ice. Blackhawks over San Jose 4-3 in overtime. The news a service of Chicago Blue Cart Recycling. Did you know that using a plastic bag to throw items into your Blue Cart can ruin your recycling efforts? Lose the bag. Keep the recycling by throwing only recyclable materials into Blue Carts. In doing that, you can help prevent contamination and protect the environment. For more information, visit chicagorecycles.org. 6:34. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager wants answers from the president.
What law would he have passed that would have stopped the San Bernardino massacre? If you can tell me of an effective law that would have allowed the law-abiding citizen to get guns, but not these people, I want to know what they are. So I always ask, what do you propose? And then there are crickets.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
The Chicago Wolves have 3 home games over the holiday break. Be there Saturday at 7 as they face Iowa on calendar night, courtesy of Domino's. For information, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
This is Sam Gilberto, president of American Embroidery and Screen Printing and American Marketing Products. We specialize in putting your logo on just about anything. Our focus is entirely on you, our customer. We want every customer experience to be outstanding. American Embroidery and Screen Printing is a brick-and-mortar business located in Glendale Heights. Our equipment and manufacturing processes are state-of-the-art, so are the people who work here. With over 40 years' experience, we have the capability, capacity, and know-how to get your job done right and on time. I want to earn your business, so for a limited time, we're offering free artwork on embroidery and screen printing orders for all new customers. Let us help you gear up for that big trade show, provide shirts or jackets for all your employees, students, or church members, or simply provide you with giveaway items such as coffee mugs, pens, or hats. Whatever it is, you can trust an American to take care of it. It's easy to contact us, trustinamerican.com. That's trustinamerican.com, or call at 630-766-2825.
6:36 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. It's get an update on the roads. In for Jim, here's Dominic Fortini.
Inbound side of the Edens, 23 minutes, Lake Hook into the junction, while the inbound side of the Kennedy, a bit heavy out of the River Road Toll Plaza, 26 minutes O'Hare into downtown, 11 in from the junction. Watch for double-digit delays inbound Ike's, Top and Go Wolf to Austin, 47 minutes Thorndale in. Outbound Stevenson hits the brakes at Pulaski, while on the inbound Ryan, 20 minutes, 95th into downtown. Traffic's a service of the Chicago Blue Cart Recycling. Did you know that using a plastic bag to throw items into your Blue Cart can ruin your recycling efforts? Lose the bag and keep the recycling by throwing only recyclable materials into Blue Carts. You help prevent contamination and protect the environment. For more information, visit chicagorecycles.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Cloudy, windy, bit of rain into the early afternoon, high of 50. 42 at O'Hare. Next news at 7. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Good Monday morning. Not a lot of people going to work today, but someone who is Bruce Wolf, who's in for Dan Croft.
Thanks for having me in.
Oh, yeah. I love having you in. It's always refreshing and energize. I feel you're a great way to start the morning. So did you watch the debate Saturday night?
What I did is I just read people's tweets. I followed Dan's tweets, and I also followed Lynn Sweet's tweets.
Oh.
And, to get a balance there, fair, balanced, and unafraid. And then what was great was I came up with a tweet about the debate, which I wasn't even watching, and the Washington Post printed my tweet.
All right, read your tweet.
I just remember, I can't see the tweet here. It was something, you remember when the empty podium was there because Hillary went to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
And I even corresponded with Lynn Sweet about this. I said I was expecting Clint Eastwood to come out to talk to the empty podium, reference an allusion to the 2012 Republican convention when he talked to the empty chair. The Washington Post printed that tweet. So it's like Woodward, Bernstein, and Wolf right now. And the great thing was I didn't even see the damn thing because I was going to spend 3 hours the next day watching the Bears, and I couldn't stand, because I'm old, I couldn't stand watching a debate for 3 hours the night before.
It was a spirited debate with attacks and laughs and face-to-face apologies.
But you said of your staff that they did the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
So does Secretary Clinton deserve an apology tonight?
Yes, I apologize.
Secretary Clinton, do you accept?
Not only do I apologize to Secretary Clinton, and I hope we can work together on an independent investigation from day one, I want to apologize to my supporters. This is not the type of campaign that we run. And if I find anybody else involved in this, they will also be fired.
So Hillary, she didn't take the bait. She just said simply, I accept your apology, and moved on. But was it a sincere apology, and where does it go from here? Let's get the latest from Lynn Sweet, the Washington bureau chief at the Chicago Sun-Times. Good morning, Lynn. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Happy, good to be here.
Yeah, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
Hanukkah's over, Kwanzaa's coming up.
Yes, we've got it all covered. So when you watched the debate, did you think Bernie Sanders was sincere, or is that just the way he apologizes in an angry tone?
No, I think he wasn't angry. I think some of that is just how he talks. He talks like that.
Okay, so he's like this. Hi, how are you? I'm sorry, your mother died.
That's how certain people talk. So anyway, my point being, I took it sincere, and what was noteworthy is that it was in the mutual self-interest of both of them not to let the debate get bogged down with that, with the computer breach.
But Hillary Clinton's, sorry for stepping on your toe, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, Robbie Mook, had said that this was theft and sabotage. He used such strong rhetoric.
No, but that was not at the debate.
No, it was before the debate.
Right. Sometimes, that's what staffers do. They raise the heat. They could, throw, some bombs. But that's kind of, that is not really what most of the people who consume political news on a on a wholesale basis, know about. So for what people saw, it was candidates who decided to just move past it. They stated, the problem was there. And if you notice, since the debate, the staffers have kind of quieted down on this front and just moved on. Like I said, at the moment, since it was resolved, and to the satisfaction of both parties, it is in neither's self-interest at the moment to let the campaign at this stage be defined by the data breach.
Lynn, first of all, thank you I got to give you an assist, and Dan and the others that I was reading on Twitter, because you got me into the Washington Post. It's one of the greatest thrills of my life. So thank you for that. But watching the debate, so you just mentioned Bernie Sanders apologizing. The first debate, he says they hand him the email question. He punts on that one. He says, "I don't want to talk about emails." Could Hillary Clinton ask for a better?
Enough with the emails.
Right. Why don't you just be in a cold open to Saturday Night Live, Lynn? Because you could do the Larry David. But here's the thing: could Hillary ask for a better straw candidate than Bernie Sanders? Because what rival just is constantly saying, "Let's move on," and I apologize, and doesn't take advantage of anything?
It is, it is part though of his brand. His thing is to talk about what he wants to talk about, and he's doing well enough that he doesn't have to play in her field. So yes, yes, he's on the high road, but that's his strategy. His thing is not to fight her battles, and let his whole campaign be about emails or Benghazi. That's the Republican fight. I suppose if he had something to say, he would say it, but he needs the spotlight on him and what he's about, because this is about a Democratic primary, and Bernie Sanders understands the issues that will motivate Democratic voters to consider him.
Which is that billionaires.
Those are his issues, not the Hillary Clinton problem.
See, if I were Hannity, I'd be able to interrupt you better. Here's the thing. Bernie's whole thing is billionaires are responsible for everything, because, Democrats live in this Pollyannish world where, we can milk, people for money, people who don't have it anymore. That's why I don't watch the debate, really, because I made up my mind in 1966. I have a closed mind. I admit it.
But, Lindsay, don't you think, obviously, Hillary won hands down? She seems so relaxed and casual, almost even too casual when they restarted the debate, and she wasn't even on stage because she was using the washroom.
Well, she's able to demonstrate a depth and breadth of knowledge about the world, and she can talk in depth about almost any subject that came at her. Now, Bernie Sanders did well. I think the one that really just couldn't make any impact in the debate was former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, except when he went after the two of them on guns for not having the strongest record possible. But I think the debate showed that the three Democrats were in general in more agreement. They were arguing about distinctions within a vast area of agreement compared to the Republican field, where there are vast and significant differences. But yes, I agree that this debate was easily Hillary.
And I wanted to play for you and our listeners Martin O'Malley when he's talking about guns and how Bernie and Hillary seem so condescending. They don't even call him governor. They just call him Martin.
ISIL training videos are telling lone wolves the easiest way to buy a combat assault weapon in America is at a gun show. And it's because of the flip-flopping political approach of Washington that both of my two colleagues on this stage have represented there for the last 40 years. We need common sense.
Let's calm down a little bit, Martin.
Yeah, let's tell the truth, Martin.
So was Martin O'Malley, or Governor Martin O'Malley, telling the truth?
Well, actually, let me just go back. I just called Secretary of State Clinton Hillary. I think there is a familiarity. Each of them encouraged that in their campaign.
No, that's the girls' club. That's the
Hillary's Bernie.
No, that's the good old girls' network that you're in with Hillary, right? Because you'll call her Hillary, like we should be familiar with her, like she's Cher or something.
I'm not taking the bait. I'm just saying she's a public figure. who has a husband, Bill Clinton, who's the former president. So in order to make an easy and fast distinction and not to let people be confused, yes, she often is referred to by her first name in order to keep the conversation on base.
Nice try,
anyway,
Lynn.
The question is,
Nice
our
try.
question is what? It is more than a try.
Recently,
I'm not picking a fight with you.
You're good. You're very good.
Question.
All right. Recently, Hillary Clinton, she changed.
I appreciate our conversation in a high-minded. What is next?
Recently, Hillary Clinton changed her name from Hillary Rodham Clinton back to Hillary Clinton. Do you know when exactly she did that and why?
I don't know. I know that through the decades, it has gone back and forth since her time and since her marriage, and I do not have the dates when it went
And
back.
would you
I think it may
agree, Lynn,
have to do.
It's a
I have
woman's
a guess.
prerogative to do that, isn't it, Lynn? To go back and forth?
Change your name to whatever you want.
Yeah, it's a woman's prerogative to go back
And
and
Bill
forth.
Clinton, or
to be
What
fair.
are you doing this for? Anyway,
I'm just
I
having
don't
fun.
know. You are. But
Lynn, I'm
not
as
right.
annoyed as you
Okay.
are. If it means anything.
How do you do? I hope you get paid more money than Bruce to do this.
This is
Anyway.
gratis.
Okay, so let me just make a point. Can I try and may I interrupt your interruption?
Absolutely.
Okay. You have to settle on one name once you start submitting your petitions for ballots to get on ballots, and this is the season that we're in. So you just have to pick something and be uniform on it.
Lynn Sweet, how soon before Governor Martin O'Malley drops out of the race?
Oh, I don't think anything will happen until after the February 1st caucus in Iowa and then the February 9th primary in New Hampshire. There's no reason to until you get some results and see where you stand. Usually the most impact that these elections have for a candidate who's trailing is that it drives up the money. And I think he'll have a hard time continuing if he doesn't do well and doesn't somehow raise money, because what he stands for is not all that. The distinctions between the Democrats just are not that deep. Bernie Sanders has created a movement around him, and I think that is not something that Martin O'Malley has done. Therefore, it's hard. Bernie Sanders has found that his campaign is fueled by hundreds of thousands of small donations because people want to be part of what his campaign is about. O'Malley doesn't have it, so I think it's just a matter of time where you have the intersection of money drying up and poor election results.
Especially young people who always, typically young people live in a utopian world, and then your reality hits them in the face. So it hasn't hit Bernie because he's, eternally, he's a Peter Pan candidate. You would agree with that, wouldn't you, Lynn?
No, of course. I don't know what you and your friend Peter. Yes, I don't know. Yes, yeah, Bruce. I think Bernie Sanders, stands for the progressive ideas and concepts and Wall Street greed issues that are attractive to a segment, and a very activated and engaged and enthusiastic segment of Democratic and voters. And, that's why he's been able to do as well as he has for as long as he has.
I concur.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lynn Sweet. We
Thank you.
appreciate your insight.
And I apologize, Lynn, for interrupting.
Oh, that's very kind.
Fruit baskets in the mail.
But I thank you for having me on.
All right, thanks, Lynn Sweet, Washington bureau chief at the Chicago Sun-Times. She joined us on our turnkey.pro don't interrupt me answer line.
I'm the only candidate up here who's not a billionaire. I don't have a super PAC. I don't even have a backpack. I carry my stuff around loose in my arms like a professor, between classes.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Here's your weather forecast for this shortened week, 4 days before Christmas.
And I
Bruce?
want to dedicate this to Lynn Sweet.
Okay.
She's very sweet for dealing with me. The weather today is going to be mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon, a high of 50. Tonight, low clouds, a low of 35. Christmas Day, partial sunshine, high of 44. Low Friday night of 36. Now it's time for the traffic with Dom Fortini.
Inbound side of the Edens, 26 minutes. Lake Hook into the junction. Inbound Kennedy at 29 minutes. O'Hare into downtown. Inbound side of the Ike, a little slow. Wolf to Austin, 47 minutes from Thorndale into the post office. Northbound Lakeshore Drive, we've got a crash on the exit ramp at Montrose. In Waukegan, traffic lights flashing red near Washington and Weston and Tinley Park. Crews are dealing with a crash near 183rd and 80th. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Time now for the Lou Dobbs Market Preview, brought to you by the Mutual Fund Store.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Corporate developments and crude oil prices in focus as investors try to bounce back from the Dow's worst performance in more than 3 months. Those stories next.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-431-0848. That's 1-800-431-0848. 1-800-431-0848. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop. You save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors not available in all states.
Wall Street investors hope to recover from last week's disappointing performance. Back-to-back sell-offs driving the 3 major stock indexes into negative territory for the week. The Dow dropped nearly 370 points Friday, its worst performance since September. No major economic reports out today, so look for corporate developments and fluctuations in the crude oil market to drive stocks. The crude oil market coming off a 2.5% decline last week, and the January crude contract now trading under $35 a barrel. It's set to expire as the front month contract at the end of trading today. The 10-year Treasury yield near 2.2%. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
So, I'm retiring today.
Freedom!
I hate goodbyes, so I've hired singers to follow me around and bid my coworkers farewell.
It's John's last day.
Okay, let's get started. Here's Tom.
Your pranks were amazing, despite what HR says.
Next, Susan.
Your homemade cookies blew his mind and diet.
Finally, Dave.
You never judged him for his popcorn burning.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys.
Ready to give your swan song at work? The Mutual Fund Store can help. We'll sit down with you one-on-one to talk about your goals. Then we'll put a plan in place to help get you on track. Finally, we'll keep a close eye on your account to make sure you stay on track. Discover how within reach your retirement could be for you with a free portfolio review and consultation.
Hi, I'm Matt Personette with the Mutual Fund Store in Chicagoland. Call me at 888-498-3636 or visit mutualfundstore.com and let's talk about your financial goals today.
Everywhere you go, the threat looms. It follows you no matter what you do. The longer you avoid the IRS and the financial difficulties you're going through, the closer they get to you. John DeWatt of Thinking Outside the Box Law Firm can help you end the feeling of being hunted by the IRS. If you've avoided taxes or could benefit from the life-saving assistance of bankruptcy, it's time you call John DeWatt. This is an attorney who is willing to take on the federal government on your behalf. He has worked to discharge thousands of dollars in penalties, and he can help you settle your debts once and for all. Call 888-777-4193. Let the hunters become the hunted. Let John DeWatt of Thinking Outside the Box Law Firm deal with the IRS personally. Call John for your own relief plan. 888-777-4193 or online at thinkingoutsidetheboxlaw.com. That's thinkingoutsidetheboxlaw.com. If you suffer from depression, consider TMS, an incredible new advancement in treating and relieving depression. Medications may not work and can cause serious side effects.
I'm Jim Marks, a medical director at Theramind Services and a board-certified psychiatrist for over 22 years. If you or someone you love suffers from depression, TMS can change your life. I've witnessed its transformative results in my patients for years.
TMS, or transcranial magnetic stimulation, is a safe, non-invasive, and highly effective treatment for drug-resistant depression. Over 50,000 patients have been helped by TMS. Most insurance companies cover TMS, including Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and Medicare. Depression can be beaten, and without drugs. Schedule a free consultation with Theramind, with locations throughout Chicagoland. If you suffer from depression, do something about it. Call Theramind, 847-562-5868, or go to tmsmind.com. It's easy to take your commercial HVAC system for granted. It's always there, keeping your building comfortably warm or cool, until you have a system failure. With another unforgiving Chicago winter just around the corner, now's the time to have a comprehensive review of your mechanical HVAC system. And you don't want just anyone. You want Air Comfort, Chicagoland's leading mechanical professionals. For over 80 years, Air Comfort has delivered its customers the best trained and highly skilled team of award-winning technicians. That's why Air Comfort is recognized as Star Certified by the MSCA, a designation achieved by only 2% of contractors nationwide. With a service fleet of more than 80 fully equipped vehicles, chances are that an Air Comfort technician is nearby. Schedule your system check by calling now, 708-345-1900. That's 708-345-1900, or online at aircomfort.com.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids, where families find answers.
House full of guests, errands to run, no pocket space, holiday blues.
Ditch those holiday blues with the 35 Days of Plenty. You can win weekly prizes like a Bahamas cruise or the grand prize of Ford Explorer. All from Plenty, the rewards program you can join for free. Enter for your chance to win at holidays.plenty.com. That's Plenty with an I. No purchase necessary. Must be a Plenty member. Ends 12/28. US 18 and older.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, more on that spirited debate with attacks and laughs and face-to-face apologies. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, here are the stories we're watching right now. A woman sexually assaulted near a CTA Red Line stop. Body found near the tracks on the Metro UP West Line. More than 24 Illinois hospitals this morning being penalized. We'll tell you why. Bears smashed by the Vikings for their third straight loss. A cloudy and windy day ahead with just a bit of rain into the early afternoon and a high of 50. WIND Chicago News Time is 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio, I'm Dave Anthony. She drove from the Las Vegas Strip onto the sidewalk and didn't stop.
You can see her driving away and people are like bouncing off the front of the car and you can hear it. The windshield was smashed at this point.
One person's dead. The driver's in custody. Fox's Gernal Scott has more details live.
Dave, the woman's name has not been officially released, but Vegas police say it seems the act was done with intent. But Lieutenant Peter Buffelli says they want to be absolutely certain before charges are filed.
All the testing abilities that we're doing on this individual is to ensure that we're doing the proper investigation, whether it was an impairment or anything to that matter.
In addition to the person killed, police say at least 30 others were hurt. The driver even had a child in the car with her. Video surveillance is being examined, but authorities seem certain this was not a terrorist act, Dave.
And Gernal, 3 foreign troops, at least 3 of them are dead in Afghanistan after a suicide bomber drove his motorcycle into a joint NATO-Afghan foot patrol near Bagram Airfield. We don't know yet if any victims are Americans. President Obama says ISIS cannot beat us, but can hurt us.
The most damage they can do, though, is if they start changing how we live and what our values are.
Telling NPR criticism of his strategy has been legitimate in the sense that he hasn't done enough to detail what the U.S. has been doing to fight ISIS. Kids are not going to go to school this morning in Nashua, New Hampshire. Classes were canceled after an email threat to 2 high schools.
For every parent who might say, why did you close, there would be other parents saying, you should have closed if there was a threat.
School Superintendent Mark Conrad threats last week closed schools in Los Angeles and Indiana. Is there anyone more embarrassed than Steve Harvey?
I will take responsibility for this.
That is right after he announced the wrong winner at last night's Miss Universe pageant. He apologized, calling it a
horrible mistake, but the right thing, I can show it to you right here.
Harvey misread the card, and the winner of the Miss Universe was Miss Philippines, not Colombia, as he first had said. This is Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
Showers, 40 degrees, winds out of the south at 15 miles an hour. Wet morning ahead. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott on AM 560, The Answer. Victim of a fire on Chicago's south side is in critical condition. That blaze started yesterday afternoon in a house in the 7700 block of South Champlain. Man hurt in the fire was taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, and the cause is under investigation. This morning, according to the Chicago Tribune, 23 Illinois hospitals are to be penalized for high infection and injury rates. The assessment based on a composite score. According to the Tribune, the hospitals will lose 1% of their Medicare reimbursements. West Suburban Glen Ellen police are continuing their investigation after a body was found Saturday night by the Metro tracks. A train operator discovered the corpse near the Union Pacific West line between Glen Ellen and Wheaton. Federal prosecutors are seeking approval of a settlement agreement in the case of Rita Crunwell, former comptroller and treasurer in the northern Illinois town of Dixon. She was convicted, of course, of embezzling over $53 million, according to a Justice Department investigation. And they filed a motion on Friday in Illinois federal court seeking about $680,000 from Crunwell's share of a family farm in Lee County. The motion, if approved, would bring the total amount of money recovered from Crunwell's assets for Dixon to $10.3 million. Chicago sports. Minnesota beat the Bears 38-17 in the Twin Cities. Head coach John Fox shaking his head after another loss.
We just haven't improved. I think, we've had some injuries. Today's game was a little unusual in that we fell behind, had to throw it maybe a little bit more than, we had in prior games to stay in the game.
NHL last night, Jonathan Toews, the game winner in overtime in a 4-3 win over San Jose. The news service of Let Us Entertain You. Give the gift that fits all appetites, a Let Us Entertain You gift card. Receive a free $25 holiday bonus for every $100 in Lettuce gift cards you buy. Simply visit a Lettuce restaurant or LEYE.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity wants the president to take action.
His whole presidency has involved the distortion of words. And if the choice is between believing what Obama said last night versus the previous, 7 years of his presidency, I'm going with the 7 years of his presidency. He didn't announce any major initiative to take on ISIS.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
This announcement is for all people who want to look their best this holiday season using clinically proven Power Swabs. Power Swabs whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes and guarantee your friends and family will be amazed when they see your new white smile this holiday. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-663-1592. That's 1-800-663-1592. 1-800-663-1592.
Ho, ho, ho in one. The Golfsmith Gift Pros here with another gift-giving lesson. Here's a letter from Sylvia. Dear Gift Pros, what should I get my husband for Golfmas? Sylvia, how about a new set of clubs? With a qualifying purchase of Callaway XR irons or woods, you'll get a free gift card valued at up to $150. Ask one of our experts for details. And remember to swing your credit card with one fluid motion. For more gift-giving tips, go to Golfsmith or golfsmith.com. Anything for golf.
7:06 now in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic Fortini.
Inbound side of the Edens, 26 minutes. Lake Hook in, hung up at Toohey into the junction. Inbound side of the Kennedy, 29 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 14 in from Montrose, 12 in the inbound express. Outbound delays central to Sayre. Inbound Ike, heavy Wolf to Austin. Inbound side of the Stevenson hits the brakes. Harlem to Kedzie with some slowdowns. 46 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore, 36 in from the Tri-State. Heavy inbound I-57 as well, 111th into the Ryan. Traffic's a service of the American Association for Cancer Research. The American Association for Cancer Research is the world's first and largest organization dedicated to finding cures through research. Please support cancer research by donating today at www.aacrfoundation.org. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, mostly cloudy with a little rain into the early afternoon, high of 50. Tonight, low clouds with a low 36. Then tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high of 44. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
42 at O'Hare, 43 along the lakefront. Windy and rainy this morning. Your next news update, 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf sitting in with us on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by MyPainChicago.com. World-class treatment for chronic pain. Go to MyPainChicago.com.
Good morning. Welcome to your Monday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Hillary Clinton and her Democratic rivals facing off for the last time this year. The debate featured arguments, an apology, and a closing line from Clinton that went immediately viral.
Thank you, good night, and may the force be with you.
Hillary Clinton's campaign firing back, lashing out at rival Bernie Sanders' team for tapping into their private voter files.
This was a very egregious breach, and our data was stolen. This was not an inadvertent glimpse into our data.
Does Secretary Clinton deserve an apology tonight?
Yes, I apologize.
Secretary Clinton, do you accept?
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good Monday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Amy Jacobson, and for Dan Proft, and for me is Bruce Wolf.
So you're not
you know
in
him?
for...
You love him?
Can't you be in for yourself?
Yeah, okay, fine. I'm just, switching seats like the merry-go-round.
I
Musical
understand.
chairs.
It's great to be sitting in your seat.
Yes, how is it
Thank
over
you.
there? Do you feel blonde? Do you feel
warm.
lightheaded? So 312-642-5600 is our Turnkey.pro answer line, or you can send us text messages on our Turnkey.pro text line at 64636. Type in DA and a quick comment, or here's something new. You could call or email us directly from the AM 560 mobile app on your smartphone. Now, Bruce, I know you didn't watch the Democratic debate. You just tweeted about it, stealing tweets off of other people and getting into the Washington Post. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very, very happy for you. Big moment.
It was one of the greatest con jobs of my life.
Yeah, so tell what exactly was the tweet?
No, I just followed like Dan's tweets and Lynn Sweet's tweets and other people. And so I knew what was going on in the debate. I couldn't watch it because I just can't stand to look at them. I made up my mind in 1966 on this. I've got a closed mind. I'm a xenophobe. I'm horrible. So, but I had to pay attention that way. It's like Catholics aren't even supposed to read the Bible. They're supposed to have it interpreted for them. No, they're not even supposed to read it. I can't see this directly. It blinds me. But anyway, so then I tweeted when the empty podium existed because Hillary was late because she was at the bathroom and the other two candidates
she
are
got
standing
a hall
there.
pass. She went to the washroom.
Get it.
Sent out a few emails. Hey-o.
It spent a little time shaking down the audience for donations to the Clinton Foundation. I get it. Was reciting the line, "May the force be with you," over and over again because she's never actually seen a Star Wars movie. And she used that as her closing line at the debate. So she's doing that. Well, I see the empty podium and I go, hey, I'm expecting Clint Eastwood to come out right now and speak to the empty podium. An allusion, of course, to the 2012 Republican convention when he spoke to the empty chair of Obama. The Washington Post picked that up, and they printed it, so I'm in the Washington Post. It's terrific.
Are you gonna get
I didn't even see the debate.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
But the debate, I thought it was lively. It was colorful. Yeah, there were some attacks, but some laughs. And Hillary Clinton attacking Donald Trump. In fact, all three candidates focused on Trump.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims in order to recruit.
Except it's not true.
Well, Donald Trump was quick to defend himself, of course, and his new target this morning is Hillary Clinton.
Well, of course I'm standing by it. It was vetted. They went to the Washington Post. Fox News went out in great detail and looked for it, and there's no such video. And they may make one up knowing the Clintons and knowing Hillary, but there's nobody. She just made it up. I mean, she made it up. It was a soundbite. Just like Bernie Sanders lied. I mean, he went out and said things that never took place. I didn't say that about Mexicans. I have great relationships with the Hispanics, and I didn't say what he said. You know, they make up things in the world of politics. They're all talk and no action. They're politicians.
I think the Trump video was actually made up by Nakula, the guy who made the Benghazi video. I mean, that's what, Hillary's all about. It's all about blaming videos that really have nothing to do with anything.
Okay, so in her defense, her campaign came out and said, yes, maybe no video exists, but Donald Trump is the focus on social media. And because of that, and his quotes and his sound bites and his clips are featured by members of ISIS, it is the best recruiting tool for ISIS.
No, it's untrue. It's another canard, and you can save big money with canards. You don't really need then to go out and
see what you did there.
And get money from donors. You can just come up with these canards. So anyway, no, there's no truth to that. ISIS is not using what Donald Trump says. They're not using Guantanamo Bay. These are all things that the Democrats make up because they live in a fantasy land. And that's why I don't need to watch the Democrats, because I've been watching them since 1964, and they just make stuff up, and they think billionaires exist all over the place that are going to pay for all their Pollyannish plans. And it's a bunch of garbage. So what do I need to watch a debate where I know what all the answers are going to be?
This is what I learned. All candidates oppose ground troops, and Hillary pledged not to raise taxes on the middle class.
Which is a lie, because the only way you can pay for programs for the middle class is to take the money from the middle class and make them feel like they aren't paying for it. It doesn't work, because you can't create something out of nothing. Well, God can, but the Democrats can't.
312-642-5600 is our number. Call us on our Turnkey.pro answer line or send us a text on the Turnkey.pro text line, 64636. Type in DA and then your quick comment. Let's go to Verlin, who joins us from the South Side. Good morning, Verlin. How are you?
How you doing, Amy?
I'm great. How are you?
When I hear your voice, I'm happy. I see stars in the sky. I see rockets and fireworks. I love you, and I'm gonna tell you again, I love your laugh.
I'm with you, Verlin, all the way. And I get to sit
Bruce Wolf, my man. Where have you been? Long time no hear from.
Yeah, I'm around. I'm playing golf, stuff like that.
He's tweeting, Verlin. You can follow him at Bruce Wolf.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, what I want to talk about is, you know what? I'm done watching the Democratic debate. It's all a snow job. Those other two guys are up there just to prop up Hillary. They make a big hoo-ha before the debate like it's going to be some fireworks, and it's nothing. It's just something to make Hillary look so presidential and above the fray. You know what? I'm tired of being peed on, and they telling me it's rain. I'm just watching the Republican debates. I'm done. I'm done with the Democrats. That's it.
Did you like the back shots that they kept showing of Hillary Clinton?
No, I didn't.
I know. Well, they kept showing it over and over again, and I thought that is just cruel and rude and a little bit sexist, because they did not do that at the GOP debate. They did not show the backsides of
Carly
anybody.
Fiorina?
Of anybody.
Okay.
And Carly Fiorina is the one you're going to want to see a backside of. All right. Thanks, Verlin, for your phone call.
Thank you, Verlin.
Well, she's easy on the eyes, and she's got a cute figure. But Hillary and the potato sack thing,
Really? I don't think Carly Fiorina is easy on the eyes.
Oh, I do. All right, let's go to George, who joins us from Moni. Good morning, George. How are you?
Hey, Amy. Hey, Bruce. Man, you got to dig the irony of it. Somebody apologized to Hillary, the lady who had 900 FBI files for having information they're not supposed to have. Man, you can't write this stuff. It's just golden.
No, it's like apologizing to the mob.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
I'm sorry about that.
It's like the FBI apologizing to Dillinger for shooting him.
Yeah. Hey, George, may the force be, as Hillary would say, may the force be with you. Did I get that line right? Is that what they say in Star Wars?
No, I think it's farce. May the farce be with you, man. Right on.
the force, Luke.
Thanks, George, for the phone call. But it was enlightening, because before the debate, because of this data breach that was going on, the software glitch where Bernie Sanders' 4 campaign members and staffers were able to view her voting database for 40 minutes, and they trolled through it 25 different times, C words or search words such as voter turnout in Iowa, South Carolina. I expected a lot more because Robbie Mook, the Clinton campaign manager, said, he's calling it theft and sabotage.
This was a very egregious breach, and our data was stolen. This was not an inadvertent glimpse into our data.
Yeah, and they violated the law.
This breach is totally unacceptable and may have been a violation of the law.
I care about the inner workings and the breaching of files by the Democratic Party less than I do about the fictitious CIA files on Homeland.
They're eating their own. They're spying on each other. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz, otherwise known as Todd Christensen,
Thank you, Dan.
The DNC took away his voter data right away, and Bernie Sanders slapped a lawsuit against him.
It's baffling to me that they would be hurling accusations at us. Our responsibility, my responsibility, is to make sure that the integrity of that voter file is restored and preserved.
And so Bernie Sanders files a lawsuit. The DNC then reinstates him so he can go back into their computer system. And then he still has not dropped the lawsuit. Even as of this morning, he has not dropped that lawsuit against the DNC, claiming that they are in cahoots, in bed, essentially, with Hillary Clinton.
So?
Do you see where this is all leading?
It seems self-evident.
Do you know who did it? Josh Ersky. He doesn't have a J-O-B this morning, Dan, or Bruce, because
I look like Dan.
What he did.
If I thought I was doing it wrong, I would have tried to hide it, and I didn't. I saw that there was data. I saw that it was different than ours, and that was really the extent of what I learned.
He's out of a job, and 2 other campaign managers are suspended this morning.
Democrats fighting with each other.
So I expected more because of this breach of data. I expected more fireworks at the Democratic debate. But they apologize.
Bernie apologizes.
Yes.
He doesn't go into the emails.
No.
He's the beautiful straw candidate for Hillary Clinton.
And of course, Hillary accepted. And I'm trying to play that by and here it is.
Appreciate that comment, Bernie. It really is important that we go forward on this. Obviously, we were distressed when we learned of it because we've worked very hard.
I'm going to try to do.
Answers.
I've never tried to do a Bernie impersonation, so I'm going to try this first time. I've never even tried to do it.
Right.
Let me say, Mrs. Clinton. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, that's good.
Mrs. Clinton, let me say that is a wonderful potato sack that you're wearing today. The shots from behind about that potato sack. I'd like to be in a potato sack race with you right now. I would put one leg in, you would have a leg in, we could run together in your potato sack for President and Vice President of the United States.
Very nice.
Because all Jews can do Bernie Sanders.
Let's go to Ralph, who joins us from Rantoul. Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Bruce. Good to hear your voice. I don't even want that potato sack image in my brain. I'm going to need a lobotomy later on to purge it. But here's the irony. So 4 staffers, like pimply-faced college kids wearing Bernie pins, got into Hillary's donor list, right? But it's inconceivable for all of us to think that Hillary could possibly be stupid enough or vulnerable enough for some foreign government to intercept her email. Okay, that's you can't even question that. But 4 staffers, like straight out of some New Hampshire college, right, are combing through her private data. I wouldn't be surprised if some foreign government is listening to all of her conversations through her OnStar in her car.
Yeah,
nobody cares, but you have to understand, Ralph. The Democrats don't care about foreign governments because it's all about the billionaires here.
Well, maybe the Bernie staffers are listening to her in her car. Dang it, they're listening to me in my car. That's going to be the next story that's going to come out.
Oh, Ralphie, baby.
Thanks, Ralph.
Thank you.
But the best part of the most tweeted moment of the night, do you want to guess what it is? Not this one, or here's a runner-up.
Should corporate America love Hillary Clinton?
Everybody should.
They ain't going to like me, and Wall Street is going to like me even less.
Yeah, because Wall Street is responsible for everything. No, you know what was responsible for the economy cratering of a few years ago? It was government policy, giving these mortgages to people that couldn't afford them. And all that Wall Street did was respond to that. But you'll never own that Bernie. You'll never own that Hillary. You'll never own that Martin O'Malley. You'll never own that Chicago media. I mean, everything. It's a conspiracy. We're the only truth sayers around.
The most tweeted moment of the night?
Yeah.
was off script. Her staff said they did not plan this. It just came out.
Thank you, good night, and may the force be with you.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, Bruce Wolf has the real reason why legendary newsman Harry Porterfield is going to be out of a job soon.
And he's someone you should know.
But first, here's your forecast.
Let me get to it right now. Today, it's going to be mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon, a high of 50. Don't I sound great for an 87-year-old man? I'm Harry Porterfield. Tonight, low clouds, a low of 35. On Friday, partial sunshine, a high of 44. A low Friday night, Christmas Day, of 36. And now it's time for a check of the traffic with Dom Fortini.
Eastbound Lake Cook Road up in Highland Park shut down at Lee because of an earlier crash. Also having problems on the Jane Addams westbound. We've got a crash. It's blocking off 2 left lanes before you reach Elmhurst. That'll tie up things back to the Devon Toll Plaza. Still pretty thick inbound side of the Edens. 22 minutes Lake Cook into the junction, while the inbound Kennedy 29 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 14 in from Montrose. 14 in the inbound express as well. Also a bit slow on the inbound side of the Ike. Stop and go Wolf to Western now. And inbound Stevenson hits the brakes Harlem into Kedzie. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm so excited to tell everybody who's considered buying a MyPillow but hasn't that now with the buy one, get one free offer, you'll also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Basically, you can try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose. You could be enjoying your best sleep ever, and what are you waiting for? It's so important to get a great night's sleep. I got a MyPillow. My wife's got a MyPillow. Sometimes I steal her MyPillow because I want 2 MyPillows for the price of, well, that's what you can get right now.
Do you guys have pillow fights with your MyPillows?
Oh, now you're talking.
Hashtag
now you're
naughty.
talking. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. Plus, it's washable. It keeps its shape and gives you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. For the MyPillow get one or buy one, get one free offer and 60-day money-back guarantee, visit mypillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code AMY. Do it now. This offer is for a limited time. 800-489-0201 or online at mypillow.com. Promo code AMY, 800-489-0201.
My name is Dr. Howard. I've recommended Balance of Nature for over 15 years because of the excellent results I see in my patients. Balance of Nature doesn't make any claims of treating or curing any particular disease, but I think the results speak for themselves.
When I started on this, I stopped my blood pressure and my cholesterol medicine. My blood pressure after a week since then has been normal, and my bad cholesterol dropped 27 points in 3 weeks, and my overall cholesterol dropped like 25 points. So I'm good. So I'm not taking anything.
The top 3 New Year's resolutions are health-related. Improve your odds by getting started early with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Imagine what you would do if your business had a surplus of utility savings. More than 30% of your building's annual energy use comes from your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. Air Comfort, Chicagoland's leading mechanical service provider, understands that you have better things to do with your money. There are new energy incentives offered by Chicagoland's largest utility provider that could help your business save hundreds, even thousands of dollars every month in utility costs. As a preferred partner, Air Comfort works closely with your business. They will identify the opportunities to reduce energy usage, select, purchase, and install equipment, and even help you complete and submit your incentive paperwork. Start saving on your utilities by calling now for your free consultation at 708-345-1900. That's 708-345-1900 or online at aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, a tradition of excellence since 1935.
AM 560, The Answer.
So last Friday, I think it was, Mike Scott broke in and said, we have some breaking news. Harry Porterfield, longtime legendary anchorman at Channel 2, is going to be retiring.
If that's breaking news,
Well, not. I mean, it was something new. I mean, it's
Mike
local.
saying he wasn't breaking news.
Well, he brought it up in his news
because we
casting,
live in the
right?
Silver Circle, jerk.
The Silver
Circle jerk.
Did you say something? I'm sorry. Did you say something?
That's
well,
right.
a very, very heavy debatation tonight. We had a very Darrison, let's go to Terrace those for the bit, the head of the pit.
Yeah, that was a
Exactly.
reporter from CBS in Los Angeles. Now, Harry Porterfield was a little more refined
Refresh
than
my
her.
recollection. Who is Harry Porterfield?
Harry Porterfield has been an anchor for decades. I used to watch him when I was a kid.
I think he was the anchor of the USS Constitution, if I'm not mistaken. No, anyway, he was on Channel 2. He used to do the Someone You Should Know. When I was on Fox in the mornings, I used to do a bit called Someone Who Wants to Be Known. Because
Someone who wants to be known?
It's about people who are PR hungry. They wanted publicity.
That's
now, This
good.
is somebody who's bothering us and wants to get publicity for their business or themselves. And there's someone who wants to be known. So I would do that bit. So Harry Porterfield basically got fired, but I could tell.
He did.
Yeah,
see?
it's in Robert Feeder. Fetter?
Yeah.
Is it Fetter or Feeder?
You stop it.
So Bob Fetter has in his blog today
Mm-hmm.
that actually Harry Porterfield was fired. And, they tried to make it look on Channel 2 like he had resigned.
Yeah, because they always want to look. It's
Yeah.
all about themselves.
So I'm wondering if they'll come out today and say, on Channel 2, they'll come out there and say, we lied to you on Friday. Actually, Harry Porterfield was fired, which would be the second best moment on Channel 2, second only to when Walter Jacobson on TV, he was the news anchor and said, I was found guilty of libel today, of libeling the Brown and Williamson Tobacco Company.
Oh, my gosh.
He actually announced his own libel verdict on
Well-
TV. They couldn't get somebody else to do it.
It's all right. He made a mistake.
So Harry Porterfield, he's an old guy. He's
So
87.
wait. Is he still on? Did they let him have a last show?
They're not going. They're going to have to pry the microphone from my cold, dead hands," said Harry Porterfield. I thought Harry Porterfield was the best 87-year-old news anchor I've ever seen.
I think he's
Yeah.
the only 87-year-old news anchor in the country.
Ron Majors is 103.
No,
I know
he's
that. Yeah, absolutely. He is. Yeah.
So did they make him clean out his desk? I mean, was he escorted out of the building? What happened?
No, well, they
hope
tried.
not.
They tried to make it because you and I have been escorted out of buildings.
I've never been escorted out of a building.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Even after everything, I never
Did
got
the perp
escorted
walk
out.
had the handcuffs behind
No,
me?
Didn't have
Okay.
that. You did?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where was
Then
that?
they sent me my, possessions like 6 months later.
Maybe we
Yeah.
should rethink you filling in the next 2 days.
I try to alienate everybody.
Yeah.
So anyway, Harry Porterfield, no, they wanted to make it look like it was a resignation, like he wanted to quit, but he didn't want to quit. He still wants to read the news. And like I say, best 87-year-old news anchor I've ever seen.
Retirement is hard for some because some photographers I speak with who've been in the business as long as Harry say, I miss the clowns, but not the circus.
Mm-hmm.
And some people miss the circus and the clowns.
Well, that's going to do it for all of us here at Channel 4 News. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
No one ever imagines facing Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia and needing full-time care, but it happens. And deciding on the right residential care for mom or dad can be a monumental task. There is a memory care community that focuses on helping your parent or loved one with dementia light up and live life to the fullest, making them feel like family. Autumn Leaves memory care communities see past the diagnosis to the person you know, that your dad was a fantastic cook, or that your mom loved to dance. A person who deserves so much more than being just an Alzheimer's patient. Whether it's through yoga and music therapy or simply by cooking them their favorite meal, Autumn Leaves strives to stimulate their minds and bodies to respect and nurture the person you care so much about. See for yourself the difference Autumn Leaves communities can mean for your family. Autumn Leaves, dedicated solely to the unique needs of memory care patients.
Autumn Leaves has 10 locations in the Chicagoland area offering day-stay respite and assisted living programs. Call 888-662-8886 or visit autumnleaves.com.
AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, holiday spending, it's here, how to control it, and how is the rate hike affecting middle-income Americans? We'll ask Scott Magnuson, who's managing director at Morgan Stanley in Oak Brook. But first, back into the newsroom we go. From news here at home and around the world, Here is the one and only Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. A shower and 43 degrees. Winds are gusty out of the south at 13. This morning, police in Las Vegas say a woman intentionally drove into crowds on the Strip. She is not a terrorist, according to investigators. This witness says he saw that car move onto the sidewalk at least twice.
To slow down and then accelerate again into the people, and then I couldn't see what was going on. At that point, it was mayhem. Just people down.
One is dead, dozens hurt after the woman drove up onto that sidewalk at least twice, perhaps 3 times. They're looking for video of that altercation. President Obama says the U.S. strategy in fighting ISIS is working.
This is not an organization that can destroy the United States. This is not a huge industrial power that can pose great risks to us institutionally or in a systematic way, but they can hurt us, and they can hurt our people and our families.
During a wide-ranging year-end interview with NPR News that airs today, the president stressed he understands why people are worried. Today is the day the FAA begins registering drones. Just about all of the hundreds of thousands of Americans who own drones are now required to register them. The Progress spacecraft is on its way to the International Space Station.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
The Soyuz rocket lifting off this morning in Kazakhstan on a resupply mission. Republican presidential candidate Marco Rubio is hitting rival Ted Cruz again, this time on immigration
and citizenship, but he was open to legalization. And then for weeks now on the campaign trail, he's refused to answer that question until the other night at the debate when he said that he did not intend to legalize people, again, trying to find himself some wiggle room.
Rubio making the comments on CBS's Face the Nation on Sunday. The crash of a small plane in Southern California killed 5, under investigation today. That plane sent out distress calls during a flight from San Jose to Nevada. Just before the holiday, thousands of bags of candy are being recalled. They might make you sick. Mars Chocolate North America recalling its Dove chocolate assortment snowflakes because the 24-ounce bags could contain pieces of Snickers, Milky Way, and Twix, and they have peanuts, wheat, and eggs not ID'd on the package. Cash-strapped Illinois has at least $4 billion in the bank. That money sitting in federal funds, special funds that could help the state budget crisis, according to an Associated Press analysis. It's in 531 accounts that could be ripe picking as a fix to the mess. And wearing pants low enough to expose your underwear could soon be against the law in Gary, Indiana. The Times of Northwest Indiana reporting the Gary Youth Council is asking the City Council to endorse an ordinance requiring community service for those under 18 wearing the saggy pants. Chicago sports, Minnesota over the Bears, 38-17. NHL last night, Jonathan Taves, the game winner. Blackhawks over San Jose 4-3 in overtime. The news, a service of Blue Cart Recycling. Did you know that using a plastic bag to throw items into your Blue Cart can ruin your recycling efforts? Lose the bag. Keep recycling by throwing only recyclable materials into Blue Carts. You help prevent contamination and protect the environment. For more information, visit chicagorecycles.org. 6:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I think America is dying.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Everybody came here to be free. Everybody came here to strike it out on their own. Everybody wanted government to stay out of their hair. Everybody wanted to be free. Not today. We have way too many people in America who no longer want that America.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Remodel your kitchen or bath with Galaxy and get free installation, free design, and free financing. Call Galaxy at 773-783-8300 or schedule online at galaxyhome.com.
Hi, this is Shalom Klein of Get Down to Business, the show for small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship.
powered by Tandem HR. It's not a surprise that all job opportunities are evaluated based on compensation alone. Creative benefits that offer employees a work-life balance are just as important as salary. How do your company's non-traditional perks stack up to the competition? According to Forbes, the most popular employee perks of 2014 included access to company game rooms, free food and drinks on a regular basis, the option to participate in fitness classes at the office, and funds to improve mental health by trying something new. Things like dance or boxing lessons, getting more time off than the traditional 2 weeks, company retreats and freebies like babysitting, subscriptions, and tickets to sporting events and concerts were also appealing. It seems to be these benefits that mean the most. For more tips, advice, and stories of entrepreneurial successes, listen to Get Down to Business with me, Shalom Klein, heard Sunday evenings at 6. Your Business Minute of the Day is brought to you by Everett Wealth Solutions.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
7:37 in our Chicago RadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
In the downtown area, crews still staging their equipment near Delaware and Rush after some earlier issues at the Four Seasons Hotel overnight. We've got 2 left lanes blocked, westbound Jane Addams from the Devon Toll Plaza to Elmhurst. That's because of an earlier crash. Eastbound Lake Hook still shut down at Lee because of an earlier crash west of Skokie Boulevard. 8094 westbound. 2 right lanes blocked with an accident in front of the Bishop Ford. That'll tie you up back to Torrance. We've got a car in the ditch eastbound 8094 at Torrance as well, while the inbound Kennedy slows right out of Riverville Toll Plaza all the way to Washington. 32 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 20 in from the junction, 20 in the inbound express. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Cloudy, windy, a bit of rain into the early afternoon, high 50. Currently 42 at O'Hare, 43 along the lakefront. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf sitting in with us on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by American Embroidery and Screen Printing, now offering free artwork for new customers. Call 630-766-2825.
Coming up next, it's me, Mike Gallagher, right after Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Wonderful Christmas time. So you, happy
Did you see
Hanukkah.
Paul McCartney on with Bruce Springsteen? Neither did I.
I know I did. I saw it. He wasn't really singing. He was just up there. Kind of like a,
It's like Harry Porterfield.
Oh, hey-oh. But happy Hanukkah to you.
It's over. It's done. You missed it.
Well, okay, did you get my gift?
What
the gift
was
I
it?
gave you is a gift you gave me. We're not going to give gifts this year. See how that works out?
Yeah.
The
I
gift
like
I
that.
give you is you don't have to spend any money. And money is a big topic right now because a lot of people are pushing their credit cards to the limit with holiday spending. And, I have 2 boys, so I have to decide, I have 5 gifts for Andrew. I need to have 5 gifts for Russell.
How many did you buy for Dan?
Oh, I bought Dan 1 gift. It was a great gift. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I got him a diamond and silk T-shirt.
Wow.
And you know what? It came on Friday. It came a day late, so I couldn't give it to him on the air. But I wrapped up a piece of paper with a picture of the T-shirt, and I dropped it off at his condo to Richie the doorman on Saturday. But before I gave it to him, I opened it up, and just that fabric, it's nice, 100% Egyptian cotton. It's a really nice T-shirt. So I think Dan's going to look really good in it, and it's unique. It's a unique gift.
That's wonderful.
And I try not to spend too much money, but that's a problem that a lot of us have, especially during the holiday season. And with that, we welcome to the program Scott Magnuson. He's managing director at Morgan Stanley in Oak Brook. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. How are you?
Good. Well, I'm a little stressed, and the holidays are conducive to financial stress. So what can we do during this time to just keep ourselves in check when it comes to spending?
Well, it's really tough, as you know. We have gift buying, we have the cost of travel, we have holiday parties, the cost of decorations, we have Christmas cards, we have obviously sometimes house guests, we have to cook and prepare meals. So when you add it up, it all costs a lot of money. So the number one thing you can do, obviously, is early on craft a budget. I think, first of all, you craft a budget for each of these items. So you know how much you're going to spend on gifts, how much you need to spend on decorations, how much on cards, so that you allocate money to each of those areas. And then always try to start early. Most people, that are smart about holidays will start planning, or maybe even have a separate bank account where they put money away every month, so they have a set amount set aside for the holidays when it does come.
Well, Chris, that's too late now.
Yeah.
I mean, where were you on Thanksgiving or Halloween?
We're going to work on next year. It's amazing. 17% of Americans haven't started their shopping yet. So let me see if I can give you some advice to those last minute procrastinators as well.
Sure.
Number one, what I would do is try to pay cash. Set aside how much you want to spend and put that amount of cash in your pocket and spend. Because when you use cards, unfortunately, cards you tend to impulse buy and overspend because you're not worried about paying that bill till next month or obviously the following month. So clearly what you want to do is try to pay cash if you can. If you're going to use a credit card, try to use one of those credit cards that gives you cash back. So if you do overspend a little bit, you're getting a portion of that back. Or maybe even use a card with miles, so at least you get some miles to take a vacation later next year.
So if you have, you said 17% still haven't bought gifts for Christmas, which is 4 days away. Of course, men think that's enough time, and they think if they wait until the last minute, they procrastinate, that they'll get good sales. Is that true?
Well, not really. Most of the sales now start, obviously, even before Thanksgiving. So you just have less to choose from, which is a problem as you're trying to buy that special gift for your spouse, and you go to the jewelry store, and there's nothing except something very, very inexpensive and that more expensive thing that you think, she's worth, and then you end up overspending. So, no, it's always better to start early. The other thing you can do, a lot of times our family's very large, and we were spending gifts for 16 or 18 or 20 people. We created a grab bag, which I think is a much better idea for a big family, because you can set a limit of, let's say, $50 or $100 and buy something nice. And then what we do is we do a gift exchange where you hand out numbers and you pick or trade, and we actually make that kind of an event on Christmas Eve. And everybody walks away with one nice gift instead of 16 or 17 gifts that maybe aren't so nice.
But, Scott, we used to have a grab bag, and then everybody was just getting gift cards for everybody. And then we outlawed the gift cards because there's no thought. And then, of course, I delegated the whole thing to my wife to get gifts for everybody, and I didn't care about giving any, and I didn't care about getting any either.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we've tried a variety of things. We did an ornament for a tree exchange, which worked for a while, and then the ornaments just got outrageous. And then we had the gift exchange, which everybody thought it'd be more fun to create a funny gift than a nice gift. And then it became, okay, if you want somebody to like your gift, put a couple lottery tickets on top. So you're right. You can only do it for a while, then it gets stale, and you have to try something else. But it does make it much better to buy one gift than several gifts. It just gets too expensive.
And then, speaking of expensive, the dinner, the Christmas Eve dinner, the Christmas Day dinner, it costs a lot of money. Is it appropriate to ask your guests to bring something or maybe kick in for the turkey?
Well, we don't ask to kick in for the turkey, but we have as many as 53 guests at our parties, and so what we all try to do is bring something. If the dessert, an appetizer, something to pass, but we try to do that just because it's not even the expense, just the sheer logistics of getting a meal like that cooked is ridiculous. The one thing I will tell you too, a lot of these gifts that you give people, it's the thought that counts. It really isn't the amount of money you spend. I mean, I think about some of the best gifts I get now with 4 sons, 3 daughter-in-laws, and now 4 grandchildren.
And a partridge and a pear tree.
Exactly. But a picture of my grandchildren in a nice frame would be probably the best gift that they could give their grandfather. And so, you think about things like that what do you give the person that has everything? Give them something that they can't go out and buy. So it's a picture of their grandchildren or children. Certainly, a lot of times, giving a gift to their favorite charity. They don't need money. They need to give it to their favorite charity or tickets to a restaurant.
Yeah, that didn't go over well.
It didn't go over well. Well, tickets. I tell you, the other thing is tickets or a dinner with your kids. So, a lot of times, all you want is to spend time with your children or grandchildren. So, if you gave them tickets to Lion King, for instance, with my 2 grandchildren, that'd be the greatest gift they could give me because it's time, not something that just will pass. So, yeah.
I'm sorry. Is this possible? I was just thinking outside the box here. Let's say you prepare a dish for, you're supposed to bring a dish, but you really go above and beyond for the Christmas dinner. Can that also count toward the grab bag? I'm just
as far as I'm concerned, yeah, that'd be fine with me.
Scott Magnuson, he is the managing director at Morgan Stanley in Oak Brook. You know what you were mentioning, giving the gift of a ticket or a concert. Best gift I ever received for my wedding was from Francie Bergman, who gave me tickets to Mamma Mia.
Yep.
Which I loved. And then the best gift that I've given was to my dad one year. I gave him front row seats to the WWE at Allstate Arena.
Oh, yeah, and I remember.
So he sat in the front row.
And there was a folding chair that was thrown on his head.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, I truly believe giving an experience can sometimes be better than any kind of gift you can give, and it truly is appreciated.
And it was funny because my kids, Scott, were in the back, and they're look at Grandpa, he's in the front row.
Well, another gift you can give. A lot of times, for instance, I hate taking down Christmas decorations.
Oh, I hate.
So one year, my kids gave me the present was they came to my house and took them down, so I didn't have to.
Oh,
but it was one of the best presents I ever got. So I sat and watched football as they agonized over putting the tree away.
All right, so if I start planning for next year now, I should just add up all the money, all the gifts, the money I spent on all the gifts, and then start setting aside money each month.
That's what I would do. Yes, absolutely. And some things like even 529 plans. A lot of times, people you'll know, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, children will have college funds, and you can donate to their college fund. Buy them a small gift, but then donate $100, $50, $200 to their college fund, because that will be maybe $500 or $1,000 when they go to college. It'll be something more meaningful.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Scott Magnuson. He is the managing director at Morgan Stanley in Oak Brook. We appreciate your time this morning.
No problem. Glad to be on.
And happy holidays. And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
What do you call this, Edith, huh?
That was a Christmas present.
What fathead to spend any money on a thing like that?
From your mother.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Here's your forecast for this Monday, December 21st.
Today, mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon, a high of 50. Tonight, low clouds, a low of 35. On Christmas, partial sunshine, high of 44. That's my gift to the to the universe. A balmy Christmas day. Yeah, because I think people appreciate that more than cash. Now it's time for a check of traffic with Dom Fortini.
Still problems up north of the city in Northbrook. We've got eastbound Lake Cook shut down at Lee because of an earlier accident west of Skokie. Also in Tinley Park, watch for a crash near 183rd and 80th. Inbound side of the Kennedy, 32 minutes O'Hare to downtown, 20 in from the junction, also 20 in the inbound express. Not much of a difference there. Inbound side of the Stevenson, rocking delays Harlem to Kedzie, 53 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 43 in from the Tri-State. Outbound Ryan, we've got the right lane blocked with a truck with lost some of its drive shaft, looks like. Just south of the Stevenson, use some extra caution there. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream Idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. 97. That's the percentage of Chicago Teachers Union members who voted yes in a recent mock vote. Yes, they voted. They are prepared to go out on strike for the second time in 4 years. The annual average CPS teacher salary is just under $80,000. And that's before you include their health insurance benefits and guaranteed seven-figure pensions. The bankrupt, junk-rated Chicago public schools spend more than $15,000 annually per pupil, and yet 75% of 4th and 8th graders are neither proficient in reading nor math. This in a system of nearly 400,000 students. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the teachers union or the mayor's office? Yes, there are no white hats in the story of central planners from City Hall fighting with the central planners from the teachers union over who gets to be the lead central planner at CPS. If the teachers strike, they deserve to be unlocked from their jobs. CPS students deserve access to schools that will give them the opportunity to earn an education that sets them on a course for success in life. The only way that happens is if the adults inside CPS, the parents, and the adults outside CPS, state political leaders, change the flow of money away from central planners and to families so that they may make the same choices for their children that Tiny Dancer did for his kids matriculating at the University of Chicago Lab School. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
The holidays are just around the corner, and you want your home to feel warm and inviting so that you can create a memorable experience. Before you start decorating for the season, call Executive Green Carpet Cleaning. Cleaning at 708-599-5151. There's still time to have your carpet, upholstery, tile, and grout cleaned before those special dinner guests arrive. Executive Green Carpet Cleaning's process is safe for your entire family. They use their own purified water and a non-toxic solution that leaves no residue, so you can rest assured you'll have a clean carpet when the kids and grandkids exchange their gifts. Want one of the best gifts this holiday season? It's Executive Green's no-risk guarantee. If you are not 100% satisfied, you will not pay for your service. Make your home beautiful for the holidays by scheduling now at 708-599-5151. Ask about their holiday special, 3 rooms for $139. 708-599-5151 or schedule online at executivegreencarpetcleaning.com. If you've ever heard Turnkey IT advertise on this station and wondered if they'd be the right fit for your company or team, then listen to this.
I contacted Turnkey IT after experiencing numerous problems with my former IT company. Since we've hired them, we haven't been down a day since.
Everything integrated, not only our IT stuff, but also our phone system, internet. So it's pretty much one-stop shopping with great technology. Everybody there at Turnkey is very responsive. I don't regret anything about using them. I would highly recommend them.
We were having communication difficulties with our previous IT company. That's when we contacted Turnkey IT. We are so much better off today than we were 2 years ago.
I've been using Turnkey IT for 15 years now. They have designed, installed, and supported our multi-location, 70-user system flawlessly. This is exactly why I use Turnkey IT.
There's a reason why people trust Turnkey IT to maintain their computer networking systems. So maybe it's time for you to give yourself a gift this holiday with a visit to turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Remember this? Bill Murray, Lounge Lizard, singing the Star Wars theme song on Saturday Night Live back in the 70s. Do you remember that, Bruce? Do you remember?
Yes, I remember that. I actually saw, I'm so old, I saw Bill Murray at Second City before he got on SNL, and he played a weatherman who was like a Las Vegas lounge act. So he's been doing this bit for about 100 years.
Modeling himself after Jimmy Damon. Remember Jimmy Damon?
Oh, yeah.
The original Lounge Lizard? Yes, he is. So have you seen Star Wars yet?
I saw it in 1977. Do I have to see the new one?
Yes, you have to see the new one.
I saw the first 3, and then when the 4th one came out with Jar Jar Binks, of course, I thought it was racist, so I never, it was boring.
4, 5, and 6 I heard were
They were
awful.
horrible. I tried 4. I fell asleep in the beginning of it. And so now they're coming up with 7, which the new one.
The Force Awakens.
I have heard. Now, Armand White of National Review.
Okay.
He hates everything.
Yeah.
He hates everything. So he said, there's no there, it's no depth. But David French, who also writes for National Review and is a very smart guy, said it's really, really good. So I assume that it's good, but I saw it in 77, and I'll wait till it comes to the cable.
Really?
And that's when I'll see
I've been
it.
trying to get a family of 10 in because my sister's here from St. Louis with my nieces and nephews. And we all wanted to go see it today. Not one seat available.
Today?
All day.
It's Monday.
I know, but Chicago Public, everyone's off of school.
Oh,
They have
the
a
teachers.
2-week holiday break.
I don't follow Chicago Public Schools. Are they on strike now?
No, we're not on strike. It's called holiday break, or as they say, winter break, because I don't want to offend anybody.
Shouldn't they never turn to the dark side? Shouldn't they have started the break much later in anticipation of the fact that the teachers are going to go out on strike?
We're not going to go on strike.
Sure you are.
No, we're not. We're not. But Melissa Harris Perry, she, decided
MSNBC.
That, she decided that Darth Vader, it's racist because he's a black guy.
I know why I have feelings, good, bad, and otherwise, about Star Wars, and I have a lot. I spent the whole day talking about the whole Darth Vader situation.
Really?
Oh.
You could?
Yeah, like the part where he was totally a black guy whose name basically was James Earl Jones.
Right.
But while he was black, he was terrible and bad and awful and used to cut off white men's hands and didn't, actually claim his son. But as soon as he claims his son and goes over to the good, he takes off his mask and he is white. Oh, yes, I have many, many feelings about that.
That's why I refuse to call devil's food cake devil's food cake. I call it angel food cake, even though it's black.
But the sad part is this is not racist, and it hinders real racist behavior. Because here's a great example. My kids, if I say, watch out for the black car, Mom, that is so racist. if I sit on the red couch instead of the brown couch, Mom, that is so racist. And this is the best. I went to the Bears-Redskins game, and my kids
You mean the
thought,
Bears-Washington Ball Club game?
No, the Chicago Bears-Washington Redskins game, and my kids thought that I was racist. Everything these days is racist. Hi, Amy Jacobson here. Christmas is coming fast. Last-minute gifts are hard to find. So, guys, here it is. Put your love in a locket with Heartstrings customized lockets. It's super cool, a glass locket that opens to charms inside. Birthstones, initials, hobbies, sports. It's completely up to you. I've got birthstones in mind for my kids and a little microphone for the radio. It's something unique that captures her story in a locket. It's a home run Christmas gift, or ladies, make one for yourself. Choose from over 900 unique charms. Go to one of 4 Heartstrings kiosks at Orland Square Mall and Yorktown Center, Lower Level Center Court, or Gurney Mills and Fox Valley Mall near Macy's. A locket specialist will be right there with you every step of the way. A Heartstring customized locket. She wants it. Get it for her. Find them at Orland Square Mall, Yorktown Center, Fox Valley, or Gurney Mills, or online at yourheartstring.com. That's YOUR heartstring.com. Mention the promo code Amy and get a free charm.
And now, a moment of objectivism with Yaron Brook and the Ayn Rand Institute.
Polls show Americans don't care about economic inequality. If someone works for his money, our attitude is, good for you. To make us care, opponents of economic inequality resort to a gimmick. It works like this. 1, point to people who are suffering some hardship. 2, then point to people who are doing well. 3, imply the problem is not the hardship, but the gap between those who are doing well and those who aren't. 4, demand we fight the gap by bringing down the high flyers. We need to reject this gimmick. Gaps don't matter. We should feel bad for a blind child because he can't see, not because we can. If you want to understand and discover how to oppose the campaign against economic inequality, listen to my show. From the Ayn Rand Institute, I'm Yaron Brook.
This has been a moment of objectivism from the Ayn Rand Institute. To learn more, listen to the Yaron Brook Show, Saturdays at 4 on AM 560, and visit ariradio.com.
Why are Ayn Rand's ideas so compelling? Her worldview, her philosophy, expressed dramatically in her novels Atlas Shrugged and The Fountainhead, embodies the ideals stated by the Founding Fathers in the Declaration of Independence and sets forth the requirements necessary to achieve a flourishing life. She called her philosophy objectivism and said it was a philosophy for living on Earth. Today, decades after her death, objectivism continues to stir debate and inspire passion for the spirit of individualism and the enduring American dream.
You know, Bruce, last time you were here, I was telling you about my mom. She had open heart surgery, and she forgot to bring her MyPillow, and we got her a MyPillow.
They kind of formed to you, and I was able to get the support I needed for my neck and my upper back, and it was great. I love that thing. I'm never going anywhere without it, I'll tell you that.
So don't be like Louise. When you travel, bring your MyPillow with you. And right now we still have the buy one, get one free offer and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So basically you can try MyPillow risk-free, and you have nothing to lose and could be enjoying your best sleep ever. Go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in the promo code for the 2 pillows for the price of 1, or go old school and call the 800 number, 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. MyPillow is American-made, and it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer with Amy Jacobson and Bruce Wolf, who's in for Dan Proft.
What Laquan McDonald's family really wants.
We'll explain. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good Monday morning to our good friend Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, here are the stories we're watching right now. Chicago police tell us a woman was sexually assaulted near a CTA Red Line stop. More than 24 Illinois hospitals could be penalized heavily. I'll tell you why. The president commutes sentences for 9 Illinois prisoners. And the Bears were smashed by the Vikings in the Twin Cities, their 3rd straight loss. Cloudy, windy, and some rain today. Complete look at weather after Fox News. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Why did she drive into the sidewalk along the Las Vegas Strip?
And that is a big question the morning after.
It looked like she wasn't even trying to stop the car. There were men running after her. They were yelling, "Stop, stop."
One person was killed, at least 30 others injured. Fox's Gernal Scott has more live.
Dave, whatever the reason, police say they believe the crash was intentional. Police aren't saying anything specific about her reason to drive into the crowd, though, with a child in the car as well. Vegas Police Lieutenant Peter Buffelli says at the height of the tragedy, they had all units out there exploring every angle.
Our fatal detail here, we have our homicide detail here, we also have our counterterrorism here to ensure that we have covered all aspects.
Right now, the investigation reveals that it isn't terrorism, but the woman is being interviewed and was having blood drawn for testing, Dave.
And Gernal, a man driving a motorcycle, blew himself up in Afghanistan. NATO says 6 of its soldiers were killed in the attack that hit a joint NATO-Afghan foot patrol. We don't know yet if any of them are American. President Obama says ISIS can hurt us, especially if they force Americans to change how we live. But he tells NPR,
this is not an organization that can destroy the United States. This is not a huge industrial power.
Republican Senator Marco Rubio is running to take over the White House as the president just doesn't get it.
He's comparing them to a country when, in fact, they've taken on elements of a terrorist insurgency very different and very sophisticated and very different than any threat we've ever faced.
There's no school today in Nashua, New Hampshire, as the FBI studies the threat that prompted officials to cancel classes.
Police telling us that it was actually a school administrator who received that email yesterday and immediately called police. Now, police didn't say what specific threat of violence was in that email, but they told us that email stated students and staff at both high schools would be harmed today.
Stephanie Quinn Yu with Fox 25 TV in Nashua, where they closed all schools as a precaution, like last week in L.A. and 2 towns in Indiana. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Rain showers, 43 degrees. Winds are out of the south at 13. 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Dominic Fortini's been telling us about it this morning. Problems near the Four Seasons, near the Mag Mile this morning. A chlorine leak blamed from bringing hazmat crews and Chicago Fire to the scene of that luxury hotel. Fire officials say the incident happened early this morning on the 7th and 8th floors. Many were seen standing outside underneath the awning of the hotel as firefighters worked inside and outside. The leak was actually contained to one room inside the building. An investigation ongoing after a man was shot to death inside his Southside home. Friedel Bryant was wounded twice in the chest yesterday morning simply by answering the door. Pronounced dead at the hospital. No arrests have been made. A victim of a fire on Chicago's South Side is in critical condition, critically hurt during a blaze that broke out yesterday afternoon in the 7700 block of South Champlain. Cause of the fire is under investigation. A total of 23 Illinois hospitals are set to be penalized for high infection and injury rates. According to the Chicago Tribune, the hospitals will lose 1% of their Medicare reimbursements. The assessment based on a composite score system. Illinois Hospital Association says it will cost more than $12 million. West Suburban Glen Ellen police are continuing their investigation after a body was found Saturday night by the Metra tracks. A train operator discovered the corpse near the UP West line between Glen Ellen and Wheaton. Chicago sports. Vikings over the Bears, 38-17 on Sunday. On the ice, Blackhawks over San Jose, 4-3 in overtime. Your game winner from Jonathan Taves. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat. And from the Fox Business Network this morning, here's Pat O'Neill.
From the Fox Business Network, global stock markets mostly higher, bouncing up after Wall Street's decline Friday. U.S. stock futures are higher ahead of the opening. It's been a month of volatility on Wall Street. The Dow's registered 12 days in December with moves of 100 points or more between one day's closing bell and the next. That's the most days with moves of that magnitude in December since 2008, according to Dow Jones data. Toshiba is cutting almost 7,000 jobs after projecting huge losses. It will slash jobs in its personal computer and consumer electronic businesses. The cuts in Japan will involve early retirement, but a lot of overseas jobs will also be involved. Toshiba, along with some other companies, is in the midst of decommissioning the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, damaged in the 2011 tsunami. And pump prices keep dropping. The Lumberg survey says regular gas is down 4 cents the last 2 weeks to $2.06 a gallon. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Pat O'Neill.
8:05 in Chicago, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next. on AM 560.
Hey, Chicagoland, Dave Ramsey here. For the last 20 plus years, we've helped millions of people get their financial lives in order. And now, for the first time ever, we're bringing our Smart Money Tour to you. Financial expert Chris Hogan and I will be at Willow Creek Church on January 12th. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck or wondering what you're going to do when retirement comes around, don't miss this event. Get your seats today at DaveRamsey.com.
Sponsored in part by Dr. Amy and Associates.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, Staples guy. Own small business. No time. Holidays busy. Pack stuff. Ship stuff. Help.
Well, at Staples, our UPS shipping center is open 7 days a week with the same carrier rates and all the shipping supplies you need, so you can relax.
I'm relaxed, loosened up, tension gone.
Takes time to adjust.
Get up to 5% back in rewards on everything every day, including shipping and packing supplies. Ship more for less. Staples. Make more happen.
5% back in rewards excludes postage, gift, or prepaid phone cards and purchases made on third-party websites. Rewards not paid on taxes, delivery charges, and coupons. See staples.com for details.
This announcement is for all people who want to look their best this holiday season using clinically proven Power Swabs. Power Swabs whitens teeth with a patented tooth detergent and whitening agent. It's so effective, we challenge you to try it for 5 minutes and guarantee your friends and family will be amazed when they see your new white smile this holiday. Get it risk-free. Dial 1-800-663-1592. That's 1-800-663-1592. 1-800-663-1592.
Ho, ho, All-in-one. The Golfsmith Gift Pros here with another gift-giving lesson. Here's a letter from Sylvia. Dear Gift Pros, what should I get my husband for Golfmas? Sylvia, how about a new set of clubs? With a qualifying purchase of Callaway XR irons or woods, you'll get a free gift card valued at up to $150. Ask one of our experts for details. And remember to swing your credit card with one fluid motion. For more gift-giving tips, go to Golfsmith or golfsmith.com. Anything for golf.
8:07 in our ChicagoRadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
As mentioned in the news, still have that staging going on downtown near the Four Seasons. All the equipment going near Delaware and Rush. In Waukegan up north, traffic lights flashing red near Washington and West. Inbound side of the Kennedy getting heavier. Now 30 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 20 in from the junction. 28 in the inbound express. Very tight up there between the junction and Ohio. Inbound side of the Ike. 51 minutes Thorndale to the post office, while the inbound Stevenson. Pretty big delays Harlem to Kedzie. That adds up to 50 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore Drive. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center. Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Mostly cloudy with a little rain into the early afternoon and wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. High today 50. Low clouds through the night tonight with a low of 36. Then tomorrow clouds and sun, high 44, and a bit of rain late at night, low 39. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently rain in 43. Next news 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next with Bruce Wolf sitting in on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Aging Info Radio. Heard Sunday mornings at 9, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Welcome to your Monday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
Hillary Clinton and her Democratic rivals facing off for the last time this year. The debate featured arguments, an apology, and a closing line from Clinton that went immediately viral.
Thank you. Good night, and may the force be with you.
Hillary Clinton's campaign firing back, lashing out at rival Bernie Sanders' team for tapping into their private voter files.
This was a very egregious breach, and our data was stolen. This was not an inadvertent glimpse into our data.
Does Secretary Clinton deserve an apology tonight?
Yes, I apologize.
Secretary Clinton, do you accept?
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Amy Jacobson. Sitting in for Dan Proft is the one, the only Chicago radio icon is how we described you on Twitter. Bruce Wolf.
Thank you so much. I describe myself on Twitter as a Chicago media legend. So,
so we were close.
It works. Yeah, very good.
So you've been following the Laquan McDonald case, right?
Yes, very
The
much so.
guy
Rom should
who
go.
Pardon?
Rom should go. Yeah,
oh,
he's gone.
you agree with Ronnie Woo Woo? Where did my Woo Woo go? Ronnie Woo Woo was on here Friday saying the very same thing that Rahm Emanuel needs to go.
Let's go. He must go. He's out. He's out. He's out. Me and you and your buddy Ronnie Woo.
Do you know I once was interviewed for a documentary on Ronnie Woo Woo?
I have it.
And-
the Woo Life.
Oh, well,
I
think
know,
I'm
I
in
saw
it.
it. You
and
are
what
in
I
it.
say is that do you know that the DNA, the difference between the DNA of a fruit fly and Ronnie Woo is like only 2%. Yeah,
That is so rude.
well, it's true of all
He's a-
human beings.
Okay,
So,
but
yeah.
anyway, so Rahm essentially he has gone. I mean, he left for Cuba with his family on Saturday.
And we're getting Elian Gonzalez back to be the mayor of Chicago.
Stop. But here's the thing. We found out on Friday what Laquan McDonald's family really wanted. Instead of the $5 million that they received for not even filing a lawsuit, just for hand delivering a demand letter, they wanted $16 million. They wanted $1 million for every shot fired into their son.
That's poetic.
Yeah.
But they settled for the $5 million.
Yeah, they did because
$5 million today is worth $16 million, like 20 years down the road in litigation or whatever. So I could understand you take the present cash value and you get your $5 million.
Well, he has a lengthy list. He had been awarded the state since he was 2 years old.
Horrible
He had been
story.
living with his uncle and his grandma, yet the mother
He was born with
got
drugs
the
in
$5 million.
He was born with drugs in his system to a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah, but according to family members, he was a good kid.
Laquan was the kind of kid, when he saw you, he greeted you with a hug. He tried to make you laugh. He was a jokester. That's who he was. He was the life of the party.
Don't forget the dreads doesn't mean he's a bad kid.
Dreads don't mean dreadful.
No, and I'm sure he was an honor student like the kid who was killed in the Bonfire of the Vanities. You see him with the cap and gown and everything. Look, it's a terrible, horrible life that he lived. It's a horrible, horrible life, and he didn't deserve. Well, I'm not even rushing to judgment on the case itself. I just know at the moment, Dan calls Mayor Emanuel
Tiny Dancer.
Tiny Dancer. I call him the little pisher, and he should be gone. He should be gone because
he held that video
he
for
disenfranchised
14 months.
He disenfranchised the voters. He's a Jim Crow mayor.
Well, he's not going anywhere anytime soon, despite all these demands. Of course, Laquan's family, they don't want Rahm Emanuel gone because Rahm Emanuel gave them the $5 million. They want Anita Alvarez gone.
Anita Alvarez has forfeited the moral high ground, and she's lost the trust of the people of the county of Cook and the city of Chicago.
And they also want President Obama to come to Chicago to address this issue personally.
And Mr. President, I want you to send a representative from the White House to North Lawndale to convene a White House summit on gun violence and urban poverty and police brutality.
I was born in Lawndale, 3923 West Roosevelt Road. So here's the thing. President Obama did not say that if he had a son, he'd look like Laquan McDonald because Rahm was his chief of staff. So, it's the old Chicago thing.
But Laquan McDonald wasn't killed because he was African American. In my mind, he was killed because he was a crazed man walking around with a knife, shoving a knife into a couple's face. There's 18 minutes of terror that he rained on people that we didn't see in that dash cam video.
But that doesn't justify the shooting.
Well,
necessarily.
I've been I've been on Jason Van Dyke's side this entire time. Jason Van Dyke lives
Next thing you know, you're going to
listen,
break bad on G.I. Joe.
Jason Van Dyke lives in the district where he works. And Laquan was about to walk into his neighborhood where he has a wife and 2 kids, 2 daughters.
Well, that's
So
one part
what
of
else
the
are you
defense. Are we
supposed to
going to
do?
talk to the defense attorney?
We're working on it. He's been on several times.
Okay, here's the
before,
thing.
so-
Here's the thing. I think the defense, and I'm not a criminal defense attorney, but I'm playing one on this show right
Well, you
now.
are an attorney.
Right. Okay. I'm representing Miss Columbia right now for her suit for negligent infliction of severe emotional distress by Steve Harvey and the universe. The universe is named as a defendant here, and I want her to get $100 million plus.
All right, we'll get to that case later.
Wait, plus her own Columbia drug cartel. That's it. Now, as far as Laquan goes, I understand the defense. One of it will be that Van Dyke, the officer, thought that Laquan was going into the neighborhood and could present a danger, and so was justified in shooting, because that's questionable because nobody else shot, but it's at least something that he'll raise. The other was, did you hear this? Did you see this? that there are bullet-producing knives?
Yes.
Yeah. So and he had been supposedly told about it. The problem is that the cops lied all over the place. They came up with different stories here, and there is the video, which at first blush, and maybe even second and third blush, looks like it's unjustified. At least the next 15 shots.
Well, on a
14.
personal, selfish level, I am so sick of the protesters because twice now I've been stuck in my car behind them. You know what I almost said? This one guy looked at me, I was like, if I hit you with my car, it is not because you're African American. It's not because you're a man. It's not because your friend you're standing next to is Asian. It's because you have stopped me 2 times now. I'm just trying to get home.
Now, here's the
and
thing.
I was on Michigan Avenue. Wait, hold on. And they blocked off Michigan near Superior, so an ambulance could not get down to get to a level 1 trauma center. Stop. I mean, don't confuse activity with accomplishment because they are getting nothing accomplished here.
I think
and
they
I'm,
are.
I'm done. No,
I
no,
think
no.
they are getting
Rahm
something
Emanuel is
accomplished.
not going to resign. Anita
we'll see.
Alvarez is not going to
We'll
resign.
see.
And then there's this mouthy chick. Oh, I can't stand her. She was on CNN. She's part of the Black Youth Project, and she has some demands of her own.
No, so getting Mayor Rahm Emanuel to resign is definitely not the main goal of the movement right now. So in Chicago, police receive 40% of our city's budget to remain operational. That is completely unheard of and unacceptable. One of our major demands is that police be defunded and that money used to fund police be used to fund Black futures and be used to fund our communities and things that we need.
I mean, excuse me while I throw up in my mouth. You know what? You know what I'm demanding? I'm demanding that girl, Brenda Champion, that she goes back to Minnesota because she's from Minnesota.
You know,
half of these protesters aren't even from here.
You
and it
know-
wasn't that they inconvenienced me, but so many other people on Friday night, on last Wednesday. I mean, you know, protesters disrupt traffic around Midway Airport Friday morning. Protesters march following a manual apology. Protesters march Friday after Jason Van Dyke was charged again with first-degree murder. I mean, it goes on and on
Good
every day.
gosh, I say, here's the thing. First, you notice Rahm Emanuel isn't arresting any of these people. Because,
they arrest them and then they let them go,
Okay,
which
but-
is
yeah.
sick. That's
All right.
encouraging bad behavior.
But, you know,
I'm
they're-
going to hit them today.
They're very
in my
careful
car.
about it because he wants to let them release the steam that way. And somebody a local guy wrote an article for National Review. I forgot his name. I think he's an attorney. That Rauner and Madigan don't want Rahm to go. Neither one of them wants to go
No.
because it'll be worse with a Chewy Garcia type.
And speaking
So-
of Governor Rauner, listen, this is what he said when he first saw the Laquan McDonald case. Listen, you got to hear this.
I watched the video when it came out last week. I cried.
I cried? I didn't cry. Did you cry when you saw that?
By the way, Rahm
I didn't
Emanuel,
cry.
do you know that Rahm Emanuel has already convicted Van Dyke in his speech before the city
Oh, yeah, we
council?
know, and
he
that's what
convicted
Dan
him. And
Herbert
so
said.
there's got to be a change of venue, probably to another universe
But
where Miss Columbia can
They
reign.
argue, and the state's attorney's office argues that we didn't have a change of venue for Blagojevich. We didn't have a change of venue for Governor Ryan. So why would we grant Officer Van Dyke a change of venue? 312-642-5600. That is our turnkey.pro answer line. Or you can send us a text at the turnkey.pro text line, 64636. Type in DA, then a quick comment. Let's go to Sean, who joins us from Elmwood Park. Good morning, Sean. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Listen, first of all, Rauner prefers to work with Rahm because he's been working with him for 25 years in Madigan. I like the fact he cried. This guy went from no politician to a lying fraud politician, and that's because he is what he's always been, a Democrat fraud in it for the money. And the other thing is, this is two wrongs do not make a right. First of all, why didn't the cops just beat the hell out of the kid? Just remember when cops used to beat the hell out of you? Just get out of the car and smack him with a billy club, hit him with a taser. You shot the kid. You hunted the kid. There's no question.
Hey, listen,
And you should
Sean,
cook.
I don't know who you are and what you stand for, okay, buddy? But I'm going to say two wrongs don't make a reverend right, okay? All right, go ahead. Continue.
You see what you did there? It was nice.
Yeah,
and
it's
Amy, I'm
good.
guessing he doesn't have a gray hair, right? It's perfect, just like
No,
the flock of
I'm
seagulls.
gonna run my
Best hair
fingers
in
through it
radio.
later.
Best hair in radio. And the other thing is, this is no longer about this kid or about the murder. It's about money, as that Minnesota troll, that pick on the ass of society just proved. They will use any excuse to take money. You don't have to be black to see that this is wrong, what happened to this kid. Well, I'm the first one to tell you. And why didn't the other cops arrest him on the spot? You're supposed to be this guy with a badge. Do what's right all the time. And that's how you get your reputation back. Not protecting scumbags who shake down bookmakers, who rob drug dealers, who murder people because they're cowards. Let's get back to right and wrong. It's real easy. There is only right and there is only wrong in every instant.
Thanks, Sean, for your phone call and for your passion and your continued support.
Oh,
Let's
is he
go
a
to
hothead?
Donna, who joins us from the Dan Ryan. Good morning, Donna. How are you?
Good morning, Amy, and I'm so glad that Bruce is back. I missed you. Glad you're back in town.
I miss you.
Anyway,
Yeah,
long
I'm back in
story
town.
short.
Sure.
Anyway, long story short, I work downtown, so I'm very frustrated with the protesters. And, you know, being in a healthcare setting, if you're in an ambulance and you need to get to Northwestern Hospital, how dare you? How dare you block access to people that need treatment? And yet you're standing there demanding that Anita Alvarez and Rahm Emanuel resign. I hope they don't resign and stand their ground. It's called voting. Vote them out. But secondly,
Yeah, but
you know,
the
my
election,
other
but
concern is-
Donna, the election was a fraud because the people
I
weren't
don't
entitled.
disagree with you because no one I know voted for Rahm, and we're all scratching our heads, and we're city workers. And secondly, you know, my concern is that the city needs to be cleaned up. But if you let Rahm go, who's going to take his place?
It'll be worse
Louis
because
Garcia or the
Chicagoans,
other guy?
right?
It'll be worse.
Chicagoans only want another
Thanks, Donna.
dictator. Thank you, Don.
Yeah, but you know, also
They'll never
too,
learn.
The person when they were trying to let the ambulance go through on Friday night, one of the police officers was physically pushing a protester back. The protester injured the police officer's wrist, and guess what? The protester, he didn't get arrested. Oh no, they just let that one go. Here's Cindy in New Lenox. Good morning, Cindy.
Good morning, Amy. Hi, Bruce.
Hi.
I had friends come in Friday afternoon from New York, of all places, and two husbands and their wives, and they got stuck on Michigan Avenue going to their hotel, and the protesters were pounding on the cabs. They're not walking down the street holding little protest signs like people think they are. People are being terrorized by them. And maybe Rahm and Alvarez need to go, and maybe somebody stronger has to come in so that these kind of people that are terrorizing, this is domestic terrorism, and I don't know why people aren't saying that or calling it what it is. It's
God
a
bless you,
travesty.
Cindy. That is
It's
so
a
true.
travesty.
And if you've ever been trapped in it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the feeling of rage that comes over you. And you want to get out of your car. One time, it was 2 years ago.
Wait, Rahm didn't give these
There was,
protesters
my
red light
kids-
tickets?
No, my kids were in the back seat of the car, and they were just out of their minds. They were scared. Stop scaring my kids. More of your phone calls coming up.
You must go. Oh, you must go. Oh, the mayor. Oh, must go. Oh, must go. Oh, you must go, buddy. You must go.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Weather forecast for today, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, there's the weather forecast for today. It's going to be mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon, a high of 50. Tonight, low clouds, low of 35. On Christmas Day, partial sunshine, high of 44. Low Friday night of 36. Do we go to the traffic right now? Yes, let's go to the traffic right now with Dominic Fortini.
In Oak Lawn, a crash Southwest Highway at Central. Eden still all right. Inbound Kennedy, though, heavy out of the River Road Toll Plaza all the way downtown. 33 minutes O'Hare in. 23 in from the junction. On the outbound side, 31 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound Ike, pretty thick from North Avenue to the Burns Circle. 45 minutes Thorndale to the post office, while the inbound side of the Stevenson also on the brakes. Harlem to Kedzie this morning. 53 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Inbound Ryan, 17 minutes 95th in. Not too bad there. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Hey guys, Christmas is coming this year, so we want you to go with a win-win. Give her something that will make her feel hot and heat up your holiday. The super warm, world-famous Hoodie Footy Pajama by Pajamagram. Because let's face it, it's hard to be hot when she's freezing cold. The Hoodie Footy is the ultimate solution. It combines the warmth of a hoodie with the coziness of footy pajamas. Head-to-toe warmth means she'll be hot in no time. You can find all Hoodie Footy styles at pajamagram.com. Each Hoodie Footy has a drawstring hood. Perhaps most importantly is the full zip front. Imagine getting to open that, especially if you opt for the sweet and sexy gift set. That includes a Hoodie Footy and the sexy midnight fantasy. Buy both today at pajamagram.com and save $60. And you don't even have to wrap because every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging, Christmas delivery guaranteed. Visit pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs. Make it a hoodie footy holiday and tell them Dan and Amy sent you.
What if you could get the very best food from all around the country with the guaranteed lowest prices? Oh, and what if it's all shipped directly to your door absolutely free? Well, rejoice, food lovers. DirectEats.com is here. Direct Eats gives us every consumer the freedom to find the best food at the best prices based on their diet, taste, or needs. That's because at DirectEats.com, the whole country is your supermarket. There's no membership fee, so give it a try. Just go to DirectEats.com and place your order today. DirectEats.com is the largest online natural and organic superstore. From locally made barbecue sauces to an array of nut-free, paleo, gluten-free, or anything and everything in between, the options go on and on. At Direct Eats, they have over 20,000 food products at the guaranteed lowest prices, and they ship them absolutely free right to your door. There's no membership fee, so why not get started on your next food adventure? Stop by DirectEats.com today. That's DirectEats.com.
This is Sam Gilberto, president of American Embroidery and Screen Printing and American Marketing Products. We specialize in putting your logo on just about anything. Our focus is entirely on you, our customer. We want every customer experience to be outstanding. American Embroidery and Screen Printing is a brick-and-mortar business located in Glendale Heights. Our equipment and manufacturing processes are state-of-the-art, so are the people who work here. With over 40 years' experience, we have the capability, capacity, and know-how to get your job done right and on time. I want to earn your business, so for a limited time, we're offering free artwork on embroidery and screen printing orders for all new customers. Let us help you gear up for that big trade show, provide shirts or jackets for all your employees, students, or church members, or simply provide you with giveaway items such as coffee mugs, pens, or hats. Whatever it is, you can trust an American to take care of it. It's easy to contact us. TrustAnAmerican.com. That's TrustAnAmerican.com, or call at 630-766-2825.
AM 560, The Answer.
We're talking about Rahm Emanuel and those pesky protesters who I'm to the tipping point right now with them because
it's all about your convenience.
No, it was all of us. We were all stuck on Michigan Avenue, and they blocked an entrance to Northwestern Memorial Hospital.
You can afford to shop on Michigan Avenue.
Shame on them. All right, let's quickly go to Tom in Oswego. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Bruce and Amy. One of the problems is our weak leadership is allowing this to happen, which is fueling anger among people. And what they need to do is call out the National Guard, call out the police, and get these people arrested for obstructing traffic. I don't mind if they protest, fine. That's their American right. I think it's a great thing. But they've got to start arresting them when they break the law, or this is going to continue and it's going to get out of control.
Good point. And I wish they would just stop and maybe take a break for Christmas Eve and Christmas.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lex, CEO of Balance of Nature. At Balance of Nature, we believe in real communication. Whether you call into the office or hear a success story on the radio, you can be sure it's real, unsolicited, and unscripted conversation.
There were times I was finding myself almost falling asleep at the wheel, that I had to pull over. That's the first thing I noticed, that hasn't happened since I've been taking Balance of Nature. I'm in sales, so I do a lot of walking during the day that would tire me out. I'm not as fatigued. I feel good.
The top 3 New Year's resolutions are health-related. Improve your odds by getting started early with our best price of the year. Call now to find out how to get your free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Well, for a long time, Turnkey IT has been providing solutions to AM 560 business owners. It's a name that you've come to know and trust. Turnkey IT takes care of your technology and has a plan that fits your company's IT budget and network needs. Interested in moving some or all of your business to the cloud? Turnkey IT can migrate your network to Microsoft's Office 365. Need someone to call when you can't print, have lost a file, or need tech support? Turnkey IT's got you covered. Off-site backup? Check. On-site support? Check. Help desk support? Check. Turnkey IT staff is professional, friendly, punctual, and will solve all your technical problems immediately or even after normal business hours, all for a fixed monthly rate. Turnkey IT knows your network is truly the heartbeat of your company. Focus on your business and leave the technical stuff to the pros. Visit turnkey.pro today for a plan that fits your needs. That's turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next on Chicago's Morning Answer, a few reasons why Steve Harvey shouldn't be visiting Columbia anytime soon. But first, we're going to introduce you to a man that you probably never have met, but Reverend Paul Hall. He's been helping the less fortunate for a half century. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
Amy and Bruce, good morning. A little light rain in the area, 42 degrees. At least 5 NATO soldiers are dead after a suicide bomber attacked a U.S. Afghan patrol today, perhaps on a motorbike. 4 others were wounded in that attack near Bagram Airfield. A woman accused of driving a car into dozens along the Las Vegas Strip last night is expected to be charged this morning. This witness says many were seen running away from Planet Hollywood.
People were just coming back saying that children got hit, and that there was people everyone was so frantic and just running around.
1 person died, several hurt, 6 critically, according to authorities. The woman described by police as in her 20s had a 3-year-old child in that car. GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump's calling Hillary Clinton a liar.
Whether it's trips where she was being gunned down in a helicopter or an airplane, she's a liar, and everybody knows that.
On NBC's Meet the Press, Trump scoffed at Clinton's claim that his rhetoric is being used by ISIS as a key recruitment tool. Clinton made that claim in the latest Democratic presidential debate on Saturday.
His hot rhetoric, say we should not allow Muslim refugees into the country, is being used, and this is something that the SITE International Group has.
Clinton Communications Director Jennifer Palmieri backing up that claim on ABC's This Week. Schools in one New Hampshire city are closed today because of a threat of violence. The Nashua School District announcing it's received a detailed threat. 2 American astronauts are taking part in a short spacewalk to lock down a broken transporter on the International Space Station.
All right, gentlemen, let's go to work. Tim, you can go to lab handrail 251 via the ESP2. And Scott, you're good to go up the Cedar Spur to the starboard Cedar cart.
The remote-controlled rail car runs alongside and outside the space station, apparently stopped short of its parking spot. So Commander Scott Kelly and Flight Engineer Tim Copra will shove that transporter about 4 inches and then lock it down into place. NASA wants it done before a Russian cargo ship docks at the station on Wednesday. Other stories we're following this morning: a chlorine leak blamed for bringing hazmat crews to the Four Seasons near the Magnificent Mile. The leak contained to 1 room inside that building. A victim of a fire on Chicago's South Side is in critical condition. The blaze began yesterday afternoon in a home in the 7700 block of South Champlain. And President Barack Obama has commuted prison sentences for 9 in this state. The commutations are for prisoners that were convicted of nonviolent drug offenses. The individuals are from Chicago, Peoria, Carbondale, Danville, and Cahokia. Chicago sports: Vikings over the Bears, 38-17. On the ice, Blackhawks another win. This one in overtime over San Jose, 4-3. The news, a service of Think It Up, and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher isn't so sure the president's strategy in ISIS will work.
Isn't it reasonable that if somebody's on the no-fly list, they shouldn't be allowed to buy a gun? That's the kind of stuff that's going to defeat ISIS, isn't it? Now, that's what I call prioritizing. Holy cow. Lord help us.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
The Chicago Wolves have 3 home games over the holiday break. Be there Saturday at 7 as they face Iowa on calendar night, courtesy of Domino's. For information, visit ChicagoWolves.com.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
8:35. Let's get an update on the roads in our Chicago RadioDeals.com traffic center. In for Jim, here's Dominic.
Still pretty quiet on both directions of the Edens, but the inbound Kennedy bulking up. Inbound heavy from the River Road Toll Plaza into Washington, 38 minutes now here into downtown. 26 in from the Junction. Express lane's been heavy for a while. They're at 30 minutes inbound. The reason for that is we've got a stalled vehicle that was being removed from there, so it should be cleared, and you should have an easier trip on those inbound express lanes. Inbound Ike, 46 minutes Thorndale to the post office. The outbound sign at 39. Meanwhile, the inbound Stevenson heavy from Harlem to Kedzie, 48 minutes from 355 into Lakeshore Drive. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, Air Comfort, your commercial HVAC solution provider. Cloudy, windy, bit of rain in the early afternoon, high 50. Low clouds and 35 overnight. Clouds and sun tomorrow, high 44. Rain showers and 45 at O'Hare, 48 along Chicago's lakefront. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Bruce Wolf sharing the guest mic with us right now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fox River Periodontics, Chicagoland's specialist with dental implants. To get your smile back, visit implantsforme.com.
Hey, before you read about it on Facebook or Twitter, well, hear about it from your friends. Find out what today's big stories really mean with me, Sean Hannity, today at 2, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
What song is this? Very, Oh, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
It sounds like the dating game version of it. Come on down and meet your second wife. Oh, that was the SNL bit on Saturday night. Yeah.
Amy Jacobson here, sitting in for Dan Proft. Kind of like a dating game at Bruce Wolf. Thanks, Bruce, for coming in. I saw you outside.
For having me.
Saw you outside in the rain. You looked a little disheveled.
Right, I wasn't scheduled to be here. You just saw me outside in the rain.
And they're like, hey, do you want to do some radio?
You mean Dan's not here?
No.
By the way, Dan tweeted something this morning, a political bit of wisdom. So I'm thinking to myself, what is he doing then? Isn't he on vacation? But I tweeted back to him, I'll use what you just said and call it my own on AM 560.
You're so good at that. But what we do during the holiday season, one person in particular, Reverend Paul Hall, is help those less fortunate. And it really is an amazing event that they have. They put it on every Christmas Eve, and people line up hours for it. And they'll stand in the rain. They'll stand in the snow. Arctic conditions just to get a free meal, to get a turkey and some fixins. And we welcome to the program, or back to the program, I should say, Reverend Paul Hall from the Paul Hall Community Center. Good morning, Reverend. How are you?
Good morning, Ms. Jacobson. Thank you. Good morning, Bruce Wilson. I'm so happy to be here. I'm honored.
Good morning, too. Where's the
Paul Hall Community Center is at 101st and South Halstead.
Great.
So tell people what, first of all, if they're in need and they want to get a Christmas dinner, turkey dinner, what they have to do.
Well, we're asking people what they have to do is come out and line up. Many of them can show that they're receiving SSI or they are receiving funds from the Illinois Department of Public Aid, Public Assistance, or DCFS. And we try to provide Christmas meals for at least 2,000 families. And we're talking about a basket of food, not cooked food, where people stand in line beginning at 4 o'clock in the morning. Last night we gave away 1 1,000 toys and about 300 or 400 new jackets somebody donated. And when I asked some of the parents, I told the children, let me see your coat that you wore in this place. These kids, they felt so proud. They said, well, I left my coat at home. They didn't leave the coat at home. They didn't have a coat. They didn't have a hat. Some kids was in the rain and just gym shoes with holes in them. And this is the kind of work I've been doing for 50 years in the city of Chicago, trying to feed 2,000 families, not only at Christmas, but throughout the year, around the year, and try to keep these kids and these young people off the street. And we had at least 1,000 children last night. We ran out of toys. I gave them tickets, asking that they would come back tonight, the parents with their children, or Wednesday night. But Thursday at 10:30 in the morning, we're trying to feed 2,000 desperate, needed families in the city of Chicago. These are the kids, we know, Amy and Bruce, that really don't have anything. When they came in the building, we knew that their school clothes also served as their pajamas at night, because you could smell a urine smell as the kids came by you. These are the kids that really have nothing. These are the kids, and people are hurting. I saw kids light up like a Christmas tree when they received a new jacket, a new coat, a new pair of boots. But we still have a long way to go. We need food and we need meat to put on every person's table that's in need.
Now, Reverend Paul Hall, I remember back in the late 90s, I was there. And again, people line up, Bruce, at 4 a.m. in the morning. They wait until 10:30, to get the Christmas dinner. And there was a kid in line, and he had no shoes.
It was
no
two
socks.
children. It
Yes.
was two children. The parents were sleeping in their car.
Mhm.
They had no socks, no shoes.
It was
And the parents stood in line, but they had to leave the kids. You went, Amy, and got these kids out the car. You held them, brought them in the building, found socks and shoes, and put that on these children. They didn't have anything. And because of what you did, this family received a job. Now they're working, But a lot of people that would give last year, the year before, are now standing in line. They're hurting themselves. And we just desperately need help. If a person can buy turkey, if they can buy chickens, I want to thank you, Amy, for what you have done even this Christmas in bringing food to the center, making a donation, bringing chickens and turkeys, and this desperate need. This is going to the people that are really, really, really in need.
Yeah, I've been doing it every year. I donate, whatever I can. I try to raise some money for my neighbors, and I'll go to the Jewel and buy ham and turkeys, and just making a point every year to help. And when I was there, it was great. There was other people that were there, and we were unloading their car, and
Yes.
turkeys are pretty heavy.
You know what I love about it? On one side of the street, you have people receiving the food. And at the curb, you have people bringing in the food from all suburban community. And it shows what Christmas is really like. It's not white. It's not black. It's all of us as Americans coming together, helping those that are less fortunate than all of us, than many of us.
And I want to urge our listeners, I urge our listeners how easy it is. You don't even have to get out of your car. You literally take 57 to Halstead, go south, and it's on the right-hand side. You can pull up, and they can just get the turkeys or canned goods, rice or stuffing, whatever you can give.
57 to 99th and Halstead, and Halstead take it south about 2 blocks, and you're right at the center. People will meet you at the curb. The area is safe. And the police have put barricades out so people can drive up. You don't have to do anything. And we're a tax-exempt organization that this will come off your income tax. And you're helping some people. If ever we needed love, we need love now with all the crazy stuff going on in our world, in our country. And I just thank God for the people that I've seen. I've seen people come up, bring food with tears in their eyes. I've seen people receive food. And those kids last night with their parents, I've seen children so appreciative they start crying. No coats, a T-shirt in this kind of weather because they don't have anything else to wear. And we need to help one another because I did this, Amy, because I was one of those people standing in line. I was raised up very impoverished, and I promised God that if I got older, I'm going to help those that really, really need. And we go throughout the community. Then we play Secret Santa. And on Christmas Eve, 100 volunteers take toys to homes of families that literally they can't even afford a Christmas tree.
And I think that, you know, what I do for people is I watch It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, so I don't do anything.
Well, you can.
That's my picture too. That's my picture too.
So
but I need the WIND listeners. I need you. I need you, Bruce. All of you to help us. This is not something that happened last week or last year. For 50 years, we started in the projects of Ida B. Wells, and we brought it to Washington Heights and Brandon and Auburn Gresham. Now we've got people from Inglewood, and we're really focusing on the parents that lost children through gun violence this year, through drive-by shootings. And those are the children we had last night. And the mothers brought the pictures of 6-year-old babies that were shot sleeping in their bed. So these are the families that have children left that we want to make them have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas.
So Reverend Paul Hall from Paul Hall Community Center with the Christmas donate a Christmas dinner during this time of year on Christmas Eve. Your goal is to feed 2,000 families.
And people can make a contribution, or we'll pick it up 773-298-1209. The address of the center is 10140 South Holster Street. And the parents built that center because they didn't want to see another child in that community get caught in gun violence, or get caught in violence. And we put that center together without a penny from anybody. And it's a 21,000 square foot center, about 10 years old. And you, the community, built that to save lives in Chicago. And I need your help.
Are you still on the hunger strike? Because I know so many years
I'm not eating until Christmas Day. I want to make sure everyone that I know that in need of some food will have a meal on their table. I sacrifice my body, even with diabetes, that I will not eat until Christmas morning. Because this is what Christmas is all about, helping those. The gift of Christ is about giving, and because God gave his son. So we want to give back to those that are less fortunate. And Chicago can do it because this is the greatest city in the world and got the greatest people in the world. And I know we can rally around and help these families that are less fortunate.
All right. Thank you so much, Reverend Paul Hall.
Thank
the
you.
address, again, is 10140 South Halsted. You could
Phone
drive
number
up.
773-298-1209. 773-298-1209. Merry Christmas, Amy and
Thank
Bruce.
you.
God bless you and everybody at WIND.
God bless you too, Reverend Paul Hall. And again, Bruce, it's so easy. Just you can go to the Jewel, buy some extra ham, some canned goods, stuffing, rice, and literally you pull up. Honestly, you pull up, and they take the produce out of your back seat and give you a receipt if you want a receipt. If not, I mean, I pull up and I stay in for a while and
If I
talk
gave
to
you
my friends.
coat, would you drive it down there? Because
Bruce, I was there on Saturday for a long time.
You can give more. You can do more. Just a slightly extra effort on your part.
Our thanks to Reverend Paul Hall, who joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Soggy start to our day, huh? You
because
over there?
Because I got tears after talking to Reverend Paul Hall.
No,
and I feel guilty. Like,
drive your own coat down there, Bruce.
You know how to get there, Siri. I don't know. Today, mostly cloudy and windy with a little rain into the early afternoon. A high of 50 tonight. Low clouds, low of 35. On Christmas Day, partial sunshine, high of 44. Low Friday night of 36. Now it's time for a check of traffic with Dom Fortini.
Inbound side of the Kennedy still heavy out of the River Road Toll Plaza all the way to Washington. Now we've got a stall blocking the right shoulder in the Hubbard Street Tunnel. That's not going to help things either. 36 minutes O'Hare to downtown. That reverse ride at 28 minutes. As you're tied up between Lawrence and Harlem on the west end. Inbound side of the Ike, 48 minutes from Thorndale to the post office, while the inbound Stevenson brake lights Harlem to Kedzie this morning, 48 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore, 38 in from the Tri-State. Inbound Ryan, 17 minutes, 95th in, and southbound Lakeshore Drive on the brakes between Irving Park and North Avenue. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Dominic Fortini on AM 560, The Answer.
Maybe I can get a pillow to Reverend Paul Hall. I'm serious. You know, I'm so excited to tell everybody who's considered buying a MyPillow but hasn't that now with the buy one get one free offer, you'll also get a 60-day money-back guarantee. Basically, you can try MyPillow risk-free. You have nothing to lose. You could be enjoying your best sleep ever. What are you waiting for? It's so important to get a great night's sleep. And I already have a MyPillow. My wife has a MyPillow. I feel a little guilty that we have 2 MyPillows there. MyPillow helps with snoring, headaches, neck pain, insomnia, allergies, and more. Plus, it's washable, keeps its shape, and gives you support where you need it most. That's why it's the official pillow of the National Sleep Foundation. For the MyPillow buy one, get one free offer and 60-day money-back guarantee, visit MyPillow.com or call 800-489-0201. Please use the promo code AMY. Do it now. This offer's for a limited time. 800-489-0201 or online at MyPillow.com. I mean, if you use the promo code AMY, you're actually helping somebody who helps the poor all the time. You're a wonderful woman. You do this stuff for people. Here's how you get a MyPillow. You're going to love it. And buy one, get one free. Promo code AMY, 800-489-0201.
Are you or someone you know facing foreclosure, losing the family home? You'd be not alone. See, people, we are in the aftermath of what is being revealed to have been the greatest financial crime spree in history, perpetrated by the Wall Street investment banks smuggling and packaging mortgages, and continuing this day by the mortgage servicers that service the mortgages. I'm Lou Bridges. I have a law firm I put together. We defend foreclosure actions. We help people do strategic defaults, short sales, and modifications that include restructuring. Call us for a free consultation. We'll tell you what to look for in hiring a foreclosure defense attorney. We'll tell you some of your options. We'll give you a free consultation. But whatever you do, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Call 224-513-1231 or visit FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. That's 224-513-1231 or FightIllinoisForeclosures.com. Get real answers from a real foreclosure defense law firm.
Here's Dr. Howard, formulator of Balance of Nature, an all-natural, 100% organic fruit and vegetable supplement.
Did you know 40% of all cancer could be prevented? That's a fact. Along with maintaining appropriate body weight and regular exercise, the American Institute for Cancer Research and the USDA confirm that eating 9 to 11 servings of fruits and vegetables every day is the key. Now ask yourself, am I at risk? How many servings of fruits and vegetables did I eat today? Balance of Nature has solved this problem and provides an easy and affordable way to consume over 10 servings of 31 different whole fruits and vegetables every day.
Get real today with Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. Call toll-free 800-2468-751. That's 800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and be sure to enter promo code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
It's our mistake. Nice. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. Did you see it last night? If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you've heard about it. Steve Harvey, Chicago's very own, made a colossal, a universal size mistake when he was hosting the Miss Universe pageant, and he said the wrong contestant to be the winner.
Colombia! I have to.
So he read the card wrong. So Miss Colombia came forward. She looks like Sofia Vergara from Modern Family. Looks exactly like her. I mean, they could be stunt doubles for each other. And she came forward. She was waving the Colombian flag, brimming from ear to ear, so proud, waving to her family. She had the bouquet of flowers. And then all of a sudden, Steve Harvey said, Rutrow made a mistake.
To apologize. The first runner-up is Colombia. Miss Universe 2015 is Philippines. Miss Philippines, take your first walk as Miss Universe.
This is phony.
So
This
let
is phony.
the awkwardness begin. So Miss Philippines had to walk up next to Miss Colombia. They had to take the crown off of her head and put it on the other lady's
They
crown.
beheaded Miss Columbia.
No, they didn't.
The drug
Then they had to
cartel did it with a machete.
Transfer the flowers over. It was to say it was uncomfortable would be an understatement. And of course, Steve Harvey, he came clean and said, I made a mistake.
Listen, folks, let me just take control of this. This is exactly what's on the card. I will take responsibility for this. It was my mistake. It was on the card. Horrible mistake, but the right thing, I can show it to you right here.
The first runner-up is Columbia. It is my mistake. Still a great night.
Sure.
Please don't hold it against the ladies. Please don't. We feel so badly, but it's still a great night. Thank you all.
This guy's either so dumb that he doesn't even know what the X stands for on that game show that he hosts all the time, Family Feud, or
you mean this one?
Yeah, or the thing was rigged for publicity for them, because if you look at the card that he was looking at, it says first runner-up Columbia, and it says winner.
Miss Philippines. Well, then he tried to apologize on Twitter and made another mistake. I'd like to apologize wholeheartedly to Miss Columbia and Miss Philippians for my huge mistake.
Yeah, he thought that a Bible verse, actually,
a
Philippians 4:8, which is the motto of Northwestern where I went to. Yeah. It's either rigged, for publicity for Miss Universe, or he's an idiot.
Well, it was.
He makes $75 million a year, by the way.
Possibly, yes. The most worst. Well, it is the worst mistake in TV awards show history.
We'll be right back. You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
The most recent U.S. Supreme Court decision on the Affordable Care Act made one thing certain. We will all have to deal with this ever-changing law until at least 2017. If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Obamacare, then you need a local expert on your side. That's right, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 20-year licensed broker who's been educating AM 560 listeners on the Affordable Care Act for the last 5 years.
Thanks, Dan. If you have a pre-existing condition, a canceled plan, or your premium increased, now's the time to get covered. 2016 open enrollment begins on November 1st and ends on January 31st. During this 90-day window, you cannot be denied coverage. Depending on your income, you may find a more affordable plan. The new healthcare law is very complicated, and you do need guidance. It costs you nothing to use a broker, so why not tap into my expertise?
Thanks, Steve. How can our listeners get in touch with you?
They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
Some will travel to the extreme corners of the earth in search of inner peace, but you don't have to travel halfway around the world to discover the benefits of the Pink Himalayan Salt Cave. Heal your mind and body close to home in downtown LaGrange at Primal Ocean Salt Cave. For years, the benefits from salt caves have ranged from respiratory improvement to the healings of skin conditions. Your journey to wellness begins when you step into the Pink Himalayan Salt Cave and relax under an illusion of a star-filled night sky. Primal Ocean Salt Cave also offers other unique spa treatments. Experience the weightlessness of floating in the aquascape bed. Feel the deep relaxation of an aqua massage and feel renewed with an ionic detox foot bath. Relax, renew, and recharge. Call Karen or Peggy at the Primal Ocean Salt Cave in LaGrange to make your appointment today at 708-482-2505. That's 708-482-2505. Or take a virtual tour at PrimalOceanSaltCave.com.
This is Dan Proft with an Upstream Idea, brought to you in part by the Illinois Policy Institute. 97. That's the percentage of Chicago Teachers Union members who voted yes in a recent mock vote. Yes, they voted. They are prepared to go out on strike for the second time in 4 years. The annual average CPS teacher salary is just under $80,000. And that's before you include their health insurance benefits and guaranteed seven-figure pensions. The bankrupt, junk-rated Chicago public schools spend more than $15,000 annually per pupil, and yet 75% of 4th and 8th graders are neither proficient in reading nor math. This in a system of nearly 400,000 students. So who's the bad guy here? Is it the teachers union or the mayor's office? Yes, there are no white hats in the story of central planners from City Hall fighting with the central planners from the teachers union over who gets to be the lead central planner at CPS. If the teachers strike, they deserve to be unlocked from their jobs. CPS students deserve access to schools that will give them the opportunity to earn an education that sets them on a course for success in life. The only way that happens is if the adults inside CPS, the parents, and the adults outside CPS, state political leaders, change the flow of money away from central planners and to families so that they may make the same choices for their children that Tiny Dancer did for his kids matriculating at the University of Chicago Lab School. For more ideas like this, visit upstream-ideas.com. I'm Dan Proft.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, You're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now it's time to put your money to work for you.
Some breaking news. Senator Lindsey Graham has just dropped out of the presidential race. Let's go into the newsroom with Mike.
Amy Fox will have the latest on the South Carolina Center, posting that video moments ago. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Dave Anthony. Lindsey Graham is out.
Today, I'm suspending my campaign for president.
No longer part of the 2016 race. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, in a video announcement, the Republican senator from South Carolina thanked those who backed his bid for the presidency.
You have honored me with your support. I believe we've